wanna see you, but you fall apart. Even though you told me to get back your heart, I still spin inside your orbit. Yeah. You say that I should probably start to walk away. I'm hoping that you stop and make me have to stay, cause I'm floating in your orbit. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space, just my luck. Push me away, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me back, take my hand, call my name. You understand, I wanna stay. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space. That's my luck. Push me away, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me back, take my hand. I wanna leave, you understand. I wanna stay. Cause I don't wanna walk away. I wanna see you while you fall apart. Even though you told me to get back your heart, still spinning inside your orbit. I should probably start to walk away. I'm hoping that you stop and make me have to stay, cause I'm floating in your orbit. Pull me back, take my hand, call my name. You understand, I wanna stay. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Yeah, I'm stuck in your space. That's my luck. Push me away, you understand. There's nothing left to say. Pull me back, take my hand. I wanna leave, you understand. I wanna stay. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Pull me back, take my hand, call my name. You understand, I wanna stay. Cause I don't wanna walk away. Cause I don't wanna walk away.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Alright, so today we are getting into our Pro Series final for Season 5. So, for the first match, there's just myself. We're still waiting for Mr. Patchy to join us. He's experiencing some load shedding and should be with us shortly. But in the meantime, let's get into the lobby. We've got quite a few teams in the finals here for today, of course. It's been the same teams that we've seen over the past few weeks. But once again, let's just jump into the lobby, see which teams we've got, and then we can hopefully get straight up into that action. Alright, so as you can see there, we've got the players, of course, from the Dragons over in slot 2. We've got the Exiles over in slot 4. We got the players there from Hub over in slot... No, sorry, my bad. Exist over in slot 5. We've got Gun over in slot 6. We've got the players from MEA Africa in slot 9. We've got the team from the Outsiders in 11. We've got the team there, of course, also from Odyssey over in slot 12. Or as they're also known, ResHaunted. Then we've got the players from Shellshock over in slot 13. In 14, we've got the team from Slime 4KT or House of Anubis. In slot 15, we've got Spaza Gaming. In 16, we've got the players there from Temper. And then, of course, also in slot 17, we've got the team there from Vibrant Gaming. Now, looking at the flight path, you can see it is starting at its usual spot of course, just over towards the southeast there of Primorsk, making its way all the way over to just south of Kameshki. So once again, giving the players some pretty good spots there to jump down into, to get the match underway, to get everything started. And then we can hopefully jump up straight into that action. We've got 12 of the 16 teams in the lobby at the moment. So let's see who will give us that first little bit of action. As you can see, of course, we've got a few teams now making their way over to the Sosnovka military base. We've got the Dragons and Gun, of course, jumping off the plane, heading over towards the northern side. They're just north of Primorsk. Then, of course, we got Temper fairly split up at the moment. We got the team, of course, there from Exist, also spreading up quite a bit. And then we got the players from the Exiles heading over to their spot in Pachinki. And a few other teams, of course, still busy making their way around. We'll just keep an eye on them to see where they drop. But we might see some early game action between the team there from Gun and, of course, the players from 4KT / House of Anubis. Right, so let's jump up and see what we got cooking over here. Alright, so there we go. House of Anubis on the way. We got Nerf right there with them, heading back over towards Risk. Ooh, Risk already engaging with the teams. So he's not wasting any time. Gets straight into that engagement, gets everything going. We also have the players, of course, now from the Outsiders, as well as the team there from Vibrant, fairly close to each other, you know, in between the area there of Rozhok and the school apartments. We got the team, of course, from Exist on the way, making their way around. We got Tempo also now moving up. So let's see where these teams are going to go. We don't have anyone to the far eastern side of the map, but we do have the Dark Dragons rotating along the western edge. So let's see if we jump up here over to Mr. Vibe. Six God, what is he going to do? Will he show us some action? Will he give us those shots? That is the big question. So let's see, will Six make the push? Is he going to move over in towards Rozhok, where, of course, we've got the team there from the Outsiders. Now, we've seen some aggressive play from the Outsiders over the past few games as well. In fact, all the teams have been super aggressive, which makes it super entertaining to watch. So now let's see, will they continue with the aggression up in the finals as well for today? Only time will tell. So we're just waiting now to see where these teams are going to go. As you can see, they are quite spread out at the moment. Not a lot of potential for some nice early game engagements just yet, but that, of course, depends on which way around they decide to rotate. You can see Nova just busy looting up in school there, and the team from the Outsiders making their way through the Rozhok area. We've got Andrew, of course, now mobilizing himself, getting ready. Let's see, is he going to go pick up the remainder of the team? You got Kaizen, of course, just off in the distance. We got Bob there as well as Mr. Rasta. Alright, so there we go, getting the vehicles ready, prepped, and all fueled up, I guess. Let's jump up here to Temper, see what they got cooking up in the Georgiable crate. We got the Dragons also just moving up in the distance there. You can see one or two of them maybe just running on the screen. But at the moment, the map is fairly quiet. So we're looking forward to see who's going to move their way up the leaderboard. Who will get themselves into pole position. Because at the moment, the leaderboard is... it's a bit tight. It's a bit tough. So just scanning the map every now and again. Making sure we don't miss out on any engagements just yet. I was hoping to try and get the leaderboard off of the website, but yeah, it no work. It no work. Alright, so we got the players, of course, down in the south there. Spaza Gaming team over in the military base. We got the players there from 4KT / House of Anubis over in the Nova crates. The Exiles still holding up in their position. Guns still down over near the quarry area. And the Dark Dragons, of course, making their way over in South George. So let's see, all the teams still busy getting their loot going, making sure they are all ready and set for the upcoming battle that is lying ahead. And of course, this is only the first match. We've got 4 games for today. So you're going to do the Erangel map, the one that we're currently on. Up next, we're going to have the 2 Miramar maps, of course. And then once again, we'll be returning to the Erangel for our final match. So you can see all the players still just moving around, getting their loot on. But we might potentially even see the players there from the Dragons and Temper start engaging. It is, of course, the 2 teams that we have that is the nearest to each other. So hopefully those engagements will start. And also maybe there's a potential for Vibrant. But depending on which way they go, it does, however, seem like they're making their way over towards the northern part there of the map. So let's jump up here to the Dragons, see what they got cooking for us. Hopefully we'll find some great action pretty soon. And I think at this moment in time, it is also quite difficult to make any predictions on, you know, which teams will be taking home the title at the end of today. But I mean, all the teams here stand a pretty good chance, you know, of changing the scoreboard quite a bit. You know, putting those shots in, putting those hits in, raking in those points and moving themselves up. So we'll see what the teams decide to do, which way around they're going to take it. We've got the Outsiders, of course, you can see it just passing through the red zone. We've got the Exile still in the red zone. We've got Vibrant now closing in. All the teams seem to be moving up towards center zone. The Outsiders, Gun, as well as the team from Exist being the first 3 teams to make their way up right into that position. So let's see if we can jump up to Andrew. He's, of course, leading the push. Well, if he's not crashing into trees. But let's say that was intentional. We got Gun, of course, right on the side here, making their way through the compound. Got the Outsiders now getting ready to rotate up once again. Off they go, heading further towards the east. We got Temper closing in. Exist right there. Vibrant also now moving up. We got Zodiac fairly close to the Dark Dragon. So this is definitely going to get very interesting very soon, as these teams get so close together. As you can see, there's not a lot of space between them. So shots between these teams, action in fact, is quite imminent. Just waiting now for those first shots. I don't think we've even seen any shots going off just yet. So far we are 8.5 minutes into the match. No action, no shots. Whoa. And the tension is building. Just waiting to see what these teams are going to do. Really looking forward to these first few shots. Because I think once we see those shots, once the shots actually start flying, yeah, it is going to be non-stop action from that point onwards. You can see Gun, of course, now just spreading themselves out, getting their position all sorted and covered, making sure they've got all the angles in case they do spot a team that rotates up, so that nearly everyone can, of course, then start putting shots into whomever it is that they spot. We got the Dragons also now closing in. They're making their way slowly but surely towards the center of the zone. And of course, as you just saw on the map, we've got the players from Exist just up ahead of them over here. Here we go. Nero now pushing up, sending a quick few hits across. All the teams moving in bit by bit. Shellshock now moving up towards the 6s. We got the players there from 4KT / House of Anubis also making their way up, slowly but surely getting up in towards the zone. We got the team, of course, up at the top there. The team from Odyssey / ResHaunted. Very close together as well. Closing in on the players now from MEA. So you can see MEA just also busy making their rotations there, heading up in towards zone. So I think as soon as this zone, of course, then closes in, we are going to see shots flying up in all directions. And what's great to see is that the players aren't waiting for zone before starting their rotations. I mean, everyone is pretty much in the zone, and the blue zone is only now starting to move. The teams, of course, positioning themselves in a fantastic spot right in center zone. And I think it's going to be interesting to see when this next move comes from the zone, where it's going to move to, and then of course which teams we'll see, you know, needing to rotate up once again. Because all the teams just placing themselves in such a position that in case someone starts moving about, that they actually have, you know, the upper hand there, or in fact have the angles to start taking those shots at the players. We got Risk, of course, now moving up, just wandering off ever so slightly. We got Temper still on the side here. We just heard 1 or 2 shots going off here from the gun side. Not sure if that was a misfire, or if they're in fact trying to engage with the team here from the outsiders. It is possible that they are shooting towards the outsiders, of course. So let's just see. Oh, there we go. So Andrew putting a quick few shots over towards Shellshock as they move up to that drop. You can see Preset just quickly returning to the remainder of the group, making a quick dash for it, heading up into that drop, trying to see what's in it. Of course, just grabbing a few utilities from it. So let's see now. All the players are closing in. We've got Temp, of course, there with the drop right on top of them. So how lucky are they to have this? But of course, it also draws some attention in the meantime. So I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen. Will we see Temper moving up towards the drop? The Exiles, of course, getting caught in the red zone once again. So it seems like the map is favoring a red zone right there over Pachinki. And then, of course, we still got the players from 4KT / House of Anubis. You can see just over towards the south. Alright, so the team's definitely just waiting for that zone. You can see the outsiders, of course, picking off a few shots as Spaza Gaming now starts rolling up. Oh, Gun getting a quick hit in on Flacco as well. There we go. So the engagements have started. Gun rushing up right in towards the Temper. No, it's Temper that rushed right up in towards Gun. So the first casualty there, of course, being Flacco. Gun positioning themselves in such a way that they, of course, you know, would be able to defend their position here. You can see Flacco, the first one down. Nos, Shady, and Mayo, the last 3 left. Oh, there we go. So the Exiles also now getting hit. So all the teams now on the move. The Exiles heading up over towards the team there from Spaza Gaming. We've got the Temper team, of course, now, as you can see, still pushing up on Gun. Will Temper get any of those hits in? We've got Shady, of course, now just trying to move back, trying to see if he can spot any of the players. We've got Pyro and company, of course, trying to keep their eye on all angles in case they do start moving up. But this, of course, now forces the players there from Temper to kind of stick just with the one compound. Any wrong move in any of the other directions, of course, puts them at a bit of a disadvantage there and makes them ever so slightly, you know, a little bit vulnerable. So let's see what they will do. Will they take any of these hits? Oh, there we go. Shots flying up. Pyro putting a few in. We can see the team there from Shellshock now moving up from the southwest as well. Let's have a quick look at the map. Do we have any other teams moving in? So the Exiles and the team there from Spaza Gaming just in, well, having a bit of a standoff there. Not really pushing up, but I'm pretty sure someone is trying to find some angles. And of course the same can be said for this side. We've got Gun still sticking it to their side of the compound, but slowly but surely trying to kind of put some pressure on the team here from Temper. You can see Nerf now just rotating up, trying to see if he can spot Shady. Risk coming in with some support. Down goes Nerf, getting shot through the window. Oh, there we go. Slim goes down as well. Mayo taking quite a bit of... Well, sorry, that was Shady taking quite a bit of damage. And Mayo, of course, doing quite a bit of damage. You can see Nos and Shady, all of them right here, just trying to ensure that everyone is good and covered. Oh, nice Molly coming in. Here we go. Nos trying to get ready. We got Pyro, of course, covering that angle. Nerf getting knocked out now. Let's see, will Risk make it? Oh, shots flying in. There we go. Oh, down he goes. So everything is now riding on Pyro. Will he be able to pull this off? We also still have the team from Shellshock, as you can see now, moving up from the southwest. Coming in with a little bit of a third party there. Pyro, of course, now quickly going up for that res. Puts him at a bit of a disadvantage, as the Temper team now has the perfect opportunity to move in. Mayor, of course, right there on the side of the building. We go. Slim is back up and at it. You can hear Wonder just tapping away now at Temper. Beautiful third parties coming in. There we go. We got Preset also moving up. It is still riding on Pyro and Slim now. Slim, of course, very low on health. Oh, everything now in Shady's hands. What a turn of events that is. Wow, Temper moving up, putting some great hits into Gun, but Gun, of course, now retaliating and putting the Temper team on the back foot. As you can see, they are just left with one now. So let's see, will Shady be able to clutch this? Or will we get a third party in from the Shellshock team? Or will it be Gun to land the final blow in Shady? We will find out hopefully soon. You can see Shady now being a bit cautious there and trying to not move too much. We've got the Shellshock team, of course, on the prowl. They're closing in slowly but surely. The Exiles, of course, now making a quick dash there. We've got Sorry now heading up. Well, in fact, the whole squad now moving up. We're still waiting for Zane. There we go. Zane getting himself mobilized. They're coming in right behind the players from Shellshock. You can hear those shots. Here we go. We got Tolu, of course, just up ahead. You see Shellshock now starting to react to the vehicle noises as the as the Exile team now moves up. There we go. Oh, quick hit in on Wonder. MG goes down. Sorry, luckily there for some backup to get that res in. And let's see, will we see some pushing from the Shellshock team? Oh, they're going to move up. We got Cage and Tolu, of course, there. Preset right here. Up comes the remainder of the squad from the Exiles. Oh, we got some shots flying over towards Temper. Shady puts a great hit in, but he goes down. Let's jump back over in to the Exiles. Well done to Gun for taking them down. So Gun takes out Shady from Temper. We got the Exiles, of course, still here with Shellshock. We got Preset, Cage, and Tolu. Let's see, up they come. Ooh, trying to move in. Oh, there we go. Down goes Preset. Up to Cage and Tolu. Will they make it? Oh, shots flying back and forth. Down goes Sorry. It is now riding on Hidan and MG. Will they get those hits? Oh, come on, nearly there. 2v2. Oh, last one. And down they go. Well done, well played. There we go. All right. So that's our second team being sent to the lobby. Let's quickly jump over here to the players from Vibrant. As you can see, the team there from 4KT / House of Anubis now pushing up on them. Will they get the hits? We got Sinister, Nova, and Six. And of course, one player getting knocked out. That being Pounds. Pounds now quickly being rezzed up once again. Got some shots in the background, as you can hear there. The outsiders just trying to get in a few third-party shots as well. Everyone now hungry for kills, really trying their hardest to get those shots in. You can see the shots, of course, now flying up. House of Anubis / 4KT battling it out with Vibrant. Vibrant now just trying to find the best approach for MEA, and also the players there, of course, now from Exist, exchanging a few shots. Let's see if we can jump up into that. We'll jump back over to the players that we were watching just now. Let's see, MEA goes down. Oh, beautiful hit from Pyro coming in with a VSS off the side. What a steal. Takes it away right from the Exist team. Grabs it out of their hands. Wow. Beautifully done. Exist, of course, taking quite a beating. Gun already sitting on 5 kills. Putting that final blow, of course, into the team there. Oh, there we go. Spaza Gaming also now moving up on gun. We still have the team there from Vibrant and House of Anubis. Still very, very close. Staples, of course, now getting thirsted by Slim. Slim putting in hit after hit. Gun down to their last 2. It is just Pyro and Slim. So let's see, will Coco and Deity now be able to get any of those hits in? Was the remainder of the team, of course, now as you can see, just on the back end here, holding up in the trench. Then, of course, being Berserk. We still have that standoff, of course, now between the players there from 4KT / House of Anubis and the team from Vibrant. You can see everyone now still trying to move up, trying to find the angles, trying to get those hits in. And it seems like both teams, well, Vibrant, of course, managing to get one kill. And the players there from 4KT sitting on, well, a potato count. Let's see, quick repositioning. Shots now flying up over towards Storm. Are they going to land any of those hits? Oh, several shots now just flying off. They're really trying to get as much damage as they can into Pronto and offline. Storm, of course, just sitting on the side. Bounce getting taken down. Ooh, Odyssey now also putting a quick few hits in onto the team there from the Exiles. Oh, NG comes in. Is that the end of Odyssey? Wow, M249 just ripping through. And then, of course, Hidan putting that final blow in there with the M4. You can just see the players, of course, now. Wow. Yeah, that was some crazy, crazy shots. Well freaking done. Alright, so Vibrant and the players there from House of Anubis still busy with their standoff on the edge of zone. They got 40 seconds left until zone starts moving up. They have to, yeah, there we go. They have to rotate up, get up in towards safety. Oh, there we go. So Deity and Coco now the last 2 left here for the players from Spaza Gaming. You can see Coco, oh sorry, Deity popping off a quick hit. They are separated at the moment. As you can see, we got Deity in the zone. We got Coco right there on the edge of zone. So everyone, of course, now just trying to make their way around. Ooh, Deity still trying to pick off a few shots. Let's see, will he be able to pull it off? Will he get it right? We, of course, now still have the players over here as well. The team there from ResHaunted / Odyssey still trying to move up on the players there from the Exiles. Supreme is the last one left. Will he be able to clutch it? Will he get those hits in? Will he make it successfully? No idea, but I'm pretty sure we will find out. We're down to our last 9 teams, 28 players still alive. Oh, Deity puts in yet another hit. Good gun also now busy rotating up in towards zone. We got the players, of course, there from Exist. Just on the east, well, the western edge of the zone, rather. Gun now slowly but surely moving up towards them. Let's see, here they come, pulling up into the compound. Will we see a few hits now flying up? Slim and Pyro moving in. Here we go, shots are live, off they go. Oh, there we go, down goes Thix. Gun, Slim moving in with a quick few hits. Got Pyro just trying to evade the hits as he's now trying to rotate up further in towards zone. We got Clutch and Zodiac, the last 2 left now. We got Flame and Thix both knocked. Pyro pushing up right towards the Dark Dragons. Well, right next to them, rather. He doesn't know that they're right here behind him. Shek now moving up from behind. Let's see, will Shek be able to slide in? Get those hits going. There we go, so Shek moving up slowly but surely. Pyro just there ahead of him. There we go. Oh, down it goes Pyro. Now it's up to Slim. Will he be able to clutch this? Shek, of course, quickly taking the hits that he should, sends him right back into the lobby. You can see Slim now, of course, just trying to figure out what just happened, because he's busy focusing on the team just in front of him. And then, of course, his teammate gets hit. Oh, he's putting a few shots into his own vehicle. I don't think that's particularly ideal, especially if you're solo. Let's see how it goes. We've got the players from Exist now getting ready. Just heard them in the vehicle. Are they going to start rotating up? They got about 50 seconds left until the zone shifts in. Once again, Slim just dodging bullets. Oh, clutch, putting in the final hit. Well done. All right, we got 8 teams remaining. Everyone, of course, now just pushing up on each other in zone. We got the Dark Dragons and the players from 4KT about to engage. Let's see, will Offline be able to hold them off? Well, the remainder of the squad, of course, now starts moving in. They all are pushing up, that being the Dragons. Moving in right over towards the warehouse here. We got Offline now just on the side. Check, trying to find the angle. Vibrant just off in the distance. Shots flying up. Down goes Offline. Quick thirsting as well. We also have Mr. Coco now rolling up. Let's see, is he going to try and get any third-party shots going? Wow, so many players, so little space. You can just hear Deity tapping away at the outsiders as they pull up or try and move right past him. Oh, everything is now riding on Rasta. The remainder of the squad getting knocked out. Oh, you can just hear shots all over. Everyone is engaging. Shots upon shots upon shots. MG going at it once again. Outsiders getting thirsted. Down goes the players from Exist. They're getting claimed by Zone one by one. Coco, of course, now still trying to move up. Asta quickly trying to recover some health there. Let's see, will he get the res in on Andrew as he's trying to move up? We got Grens, of course, now flying up. Kaizen right there on them. There we go. Exiles just putting in those hits as well. Dark Dragons and House of Anubis fairly close together. Let's see, we got Vibrant also slowly but surely making their way in now, coming up from the eastern side. Got a few mollies. Oh, and off they go. Spaza Gaming taking out the outsiders with a beautiful grin. There we go. So we are down to 6 teams, 17 players. We got the players here from 4KT / House of Anubis. Of course, the Dark Dragons right there with them. And Mr. Coco is still holding up just right behind the containers. Let's see, will he get any third-party hits? And we got the Exiles, of course, just off in the distance. So there is a potential that he might get hit from the side. Zorno moving up in 30 seconds. Let's see how this will play out. We got the Exiles getting ready to move. We got Odyssey, of course, as you can see off in the distance there. Or ResHaunted down to their last player. Dragons now moving up towards Coco. Coco getting rushed. Oh, and down goes Coco. Beautiful play by the Dragons. Just quickly cleaning up. We got Storm also now moving up from behind. He might get a perfect hit in on the Dark Dragons. Good check just there. Oh, and he does exactly that. Quick knock and dash. Making his run for zone. Dragons, of course, now. They might get caught in the zone. They are rotating up. We got Shake, of course, still in the blue. Blade now deciding to move up. The Exiles just pulling up on the edge of zone, putting in shot after shot as the Dragons now start rotating up. Shake getting claimed by zone. Down goes Blade. It's up to Dan. Nero also taking quite a few hits. Down goes Dan. Nero now the last remaining player left. Spaza Gaming now putting in a few shots. Vibrant putting in shots. Oh! Storm is the last one left for 4KT. Will he make it? The Dark Dragons putting in several shots into Spaza Gaming. It is now Berserk going up against Nero. We still have 3 players left for the Exiles. A full squad for Vibrant. Storm. And then, of course, Berserk and Nero. Unless, of course, Berserk can get that res in on Deity. 11 players, 5 teams. A wide open field for the last bit of zone. Here we go. Let's see now. Will Nero try and push his luck? Oh, there we go. Gets the hit in on Deity. Down he goes once again. Nero just trying to finish it off. Oh, Deity has almost no health left, but Berserk manages to get that res in just in time. We got Storm, of course, still holding up, just crawling into zone, slowly but surely trying to make it in. We got Nero also now just patiently waiting, trying to see what's going to happen. He does need to move for zone. Berserk just lying on the opposite end there. Let's see what will happen. The Dragons sitting on 3, down to 1 player, 3 kills. That's what I meant. There we go. So Deity and Berserk. Oh, they're moving up and takes out Nero. So we are down to 4 teams. Vibrant, of course, now trying to figure out if they can spot any of these players. A lot of potential dangers around. We got Storm getting caught in the blue. Is he going to try and get up and run for zone? If he does, he might put himself at a great disadvantage there. Of course, giving away his position. We got some smokes just up ahead. Oh, out goes the smoke. No more smoke for him to hide in. Just managing to pull up in towards zone. 10 players left. So it's a 3, V2, V4, V1. Alright, there we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's see. Oh, what a finish. He lands a perfect gren on Storm. Wow. I didn't even see that one coming. So there we go. We are down to 9 now. 3, V2, V4. You got Zane and Pounds, of course, very close together, as you can see. Berserk taking a bit of damage there by the gren. Deity now also trying to move up. We've got a few mollies flying in as well. 4 seconds until the zone shifts up. Down goes Deity. It is now riding on Berserk. Zane just quickly standing up. Just trying to see if he can spot someone. Spots Pounds. Cooks the gren. Let's see, will he be able to send it off right over towards him? He does, and... oh, Pounds takes quite a bit of damage. Doesn't get knocked, but does take quite a hit. Zane and now getting shot. Blue zone closing in. Oh, down goes Zane. Now it is the end. Up comes MG. He is the last one left for the Exile snare. Now, oh, Vibrant gets the hit in on the players from Spaza Gaming, and down they go. Well done. Wow, so Vibrant manages to clutch the chicken dinner. Well freaking played. 6 kills to Vibrant. We got the Exiles, of course, coming in second place, finishing off their player on 14 kills. We got the players from Spaza Gaming finishing in third with 5 kills. House of Anubis finishing off in 4th place with 1. The Dark Dragons in 5th place with 3 kills. We got the players there from ResHaunted / Odyssey finishing in 6th place with 1. The Outsiders in 7th with 0 kills. We got the players from Exist finishing up in 8th place with 2 kills. We got Gun in 9th place with 6 kills. MEA in 10th place with 0 kills. Shellshock, of course, in 11th with 2. And Temper in 12th place with 2 kills. So there we go. There we have it. That, of course, being our first game for the finals. And what a game that was. Absolutely insane. So, yeah, I believe Mr. Patchy is back, so we'll bring him back in the next match. So, without further ado, let's quickly jump into the highlights of this match. And, yeah, we'll see you once the second room is underway. So, here we go. Oh, there we go. Down goes Preset. Up to Cage and Tolu. Will they make it? Oh, shots flying back and forth. Down goes Sorry. It is now riding on Hidan and MG. Will they get those hits? Oh, come on, nearly there. 2v2. Oh, last one. And down they go. Well done, well played. Slash 4KT battling it out with Vibrant. Vibrant now just trying to find the best approach for MEA, and also the players there, of course, now from Exist, exchanging a few shots. Let's see if we can jump up into that. We'll jump back over to the players that we were watching just now. Let's see, MEA goes down. Oh, beautiful hit from Pyro coming in with a VSS off the side. He's putting a few shots into his own vehicle. I don't think that's particularly ideal, especially if you solo. Let's see how it goes. We've got the players from Exist now getting ready. Just heard them in the vehicle. Are they going to start rotating up? They got about 50 seconds left until the zone shifts in. Once again, Slim just dodging bullets. Oh, clutch, putting in the final hit. Well done. Trying to recover some health there. Let's see, will he get the res in on Andrew as he's trying to move up? We got Grens, of course, now flying up. Kaizen right there on them. There we go. Exiles just putting in those hits as well. Dark Dragons and House of Anubis fairly close together. Let's see, we got Vibrant also slowly but surely making their way in now, coming up from the eastern side. Got a few mollies. Oh, and off they go. Spaza Gaming taking out the outsiders with a beautiful Gren. Now just patiently waiting, trying to see what's going to happen. He does need to move for zone. Berserk just lying on the opposite end there. Let's see what will happen. The Dragons sitting on 3, down to 1 player, 3 kills. That's what I meant. There we go. So Deity and Berserk. Oh, they're moving up and takes out Nero. So we are down to 4 teams. This is the smoke. No more smoke for him to hide in. Just managing to pull up in towards zone. 10 players left. So it's a 3v2, v4, v1. Alright, there we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's see. Oh, what a finish. He lands a perfect Gren on Storm. When spots Bounds, cooks the Gren. Let's see, will he be able to send it off right over towards him? He does, and oh, Bounds takes quite a bit of damage. Doesn't get knocked, but does take quite a hit. Zane and now getting shot. Blue zone closing in. Oh, down goes Zane. Now it is the end. Up comes MG. He is the last one left for the Exiles. Now, oh, Vibrant gets the hit in on the players from Spaza Gaming, and down they go. Well done.
I see it now, I see it now. Real love, now I'll break through to show to you that I'm more good than I am bad. I work it out, I work it out. And I'll be somewhere that you need me, and I'll be holding my breath, waiting for you to show. Got me trapped inside this spell. Now I feel like your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel that.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. All right, so we are getting ready for our second map, that of course being the Miramar, and as promised, here's Mr. Betchy. All live.
Yay!
What's up,
I'm
dude?
alive.
How you doing today?
I mean, yeah, it's okay, I guess.
It's okay.
Yeah, sometimes you just want certain organizations to keep to their schedules.
Yes.
In any case, I'm ready. I've been ready for some time. It's a shame that I got to miss the first game, but I did manage to catch a little bit at the end there and see who won.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I'm spicy. I'm ready. I'm wanting to see some good stuff.
All right, so let's jump into the match. And of course, as you can see, the teams that we have in the lobby here being the players there from the Dark Dragons or the Drogon Dragons over in slot 2. We've got the Exiles again over in slot 4. We've got the players from Exist over in slot 5. We've got Gun in 6. We've got the players from Hub in slot 7. MEA Africa in 9. We've got the Outsiders in 11, sorry. We've got ResHaunted / Odyssey in slot 12. We've got the players from Shellshock over in 13. We got the team from Slime 4KT / House of Anubis in slot 14. Spaza Gaming, of course, in slot 15. We got the team, of course, also from Temper in slot 16. And then we have Vibrant over in slot 17.
Yeah. All right, so I'm super ready for this. I'm hoping that it's going to be a spicy game. I want to see how this one gets played out. Of course, you can see that flight path cutting the map basically right in half there, going just from the northwestern sort of portion of that top corner and all the way down towards the southeastern little corner of the map there. So all the teams will pretty much be able to access pretty much whatever they want or along the map, aside from maybe the extremities, there towards the corners there by prison, and of course the opposite side there, Campo. So we'll see where they decide to sort of locate. A lot of the time what we see is the teams like to congregate around certain sort of central points, just because they realize that they have to be a little bit extra aggressive in order to get stuff happening on the map, just because it's because of its sheer size.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely in for a lot of aggression in this game, and yeah, I mean, we've seen these players, they don't waste time when it comes to aggression. They go out, they start hunting, they start putting those shots in, and they start clearing the lobby.
Yeah. So that's the way to do it. That is the way to do it. So you're going to see these teams pretty much just like spreading around the map nicely. Nobody looking too much encroaching on one another, except for what looks like Hub and House of Anubis, who are heading in the same direction towards Chumacera there. Otherwise, towards the south, you can see Vibrant, MEA, and Odyssey just located towards Los Leones. Impala is being camped in or set up in by Shellshocked, and the rest of the map relatively well spread out when it comes to the rest of the teams.
Yeah, so I think let's have a look at what's happening here with the players from Hub and of course the team there from House of Anubis. We've got Meloidas right there in right there with them. Let's see, will Meloidas get any of these hits? Oh, down he goes. Offline. Takes him offline right there. Well done, well played.
I'm pretty sure it's Meliodas.
Well, whichever. That's this player, the one that's
Deadly
not. Sins. it's very possible. It's very possible.
Yeah. Well, he's gone anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. So that leaves Hub on 3 players out of the 4. That, of course, being Spons, Toxic, and Simp. And they are still quite close here to House of Anubis. You can see your boy Simp is just teetering on the edge. He might just run into House of Anubis, and he does. There's the first one. Storm going to be dropping. So nice early super aggression coming out. Your Hub obviously going to fire straight back. They're going to go right at it, which is absolutely brilliant. You love to see it. Nice. Simp going to get taken down there. House of Anubis down to 2 players, and of course the other team as well.
The other way around.
Hub on 2. House of Anubis putting in hits.
Oh.
There it is. Nice. So we have our first knock straight back to the lobby. It is going to be Hub, House of Anubis, going to be winning that one out. Well played. It seems like they only took 1 player of damage, so they still have 4, which is pretty decent.
Yeah, it's not a big price to pay, you know.
Yeah, especially for 4 kills.
Yeah, losing 1, gaining 4 kills, you know, it's like meh. It's okay. We can make it. We can make it, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, still workable.
Yeah, and we've got these 3 teams, of course, over in Los Leones. That being the players there from MEA, the team from ResHaunted / Odyssey, and of course also the players there from Vibrant Gaming.
Yeah, we'll see if they sniff each other out. We'll see if they, you know, get busy anytime soon. A lot of the time, teams will sort of realize that they are, you know, sitting with a couple of other teams, and you know that's always when you have to make a decision. You have to either choose which fight to isolate, because you never want to fight 2 teams at once. You know, that's always difficult because then it's just a really big mess. So you always want to isolate one of the 2 fights, unless you can just steamroll them, which is usually not the case. You know, usually you're not as equipped as you would want to be in order to just run over 2 teams consecutively. So usually you want to isolate one of the 2 fights or rotate out and let those 2 teams sort of deal with each other. So yeah, I'm expecting to see something along those lines within the next minute or so. We might just see one of the teams just decide to leave and move up towards that zone, which is of course towards the northeastern portion of the map. The blue zone will take its time, of course, as per usual, you know, just giving the teams time to set themselves up and get good and ready before it comes in, just to give them some encouragement towards one another. But right now, we'll see if MEA and Vibrant, and of course the players there from Odyssey, just you know, put some warning shots towards one another, or if they're just gonna be moving off and hoping to take some aggression somewhere else.
But this is also a perfect example of, you know, seeing you know, the height or flight. You know, what did I say? I said height or flight. Yeah.
Height or flight.
Oh man. Woo, that's
Get
a
high
new
or
one.
fly.
That's a new one. That's a new one. All right, I meant you know, the fight or flight response. Yeah. You know, that's what I was trying to go for, I must say.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I mean, height or flight. It's got a nice ring to it, I guess. But yeah. So this is the perfect example of exactly that. You know, seeing whether or not, you know, the players are going to choose to fight or rather rotate. You know. And either decision is cool. Either one is fine. But you know, at least they have. You know, they make those decisions on the fly and they stick to them. You know. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can see Vibrant here. They're sort of pushing outwards up towards the zone, which is a good decision, I think. Usually when it's earlier on in a 3-way, you don't really want to engage in that. Maybe later on towards like the midsection, you can start taking those ones. But usually towards the earlier game, it can be a little bit difficult to take a 3-way fight, because a lot of the time what you see is you will isolate one of the teams, like I was talking about earlier, and you take them out. And if you're successful in that, you might just lose the fight that's almost definitely going to come after that when the 3rd team comes in. And even if you lose that one, the team that's then there will then be assaulted immediately by the 3rd team. So any sort of way you play it, it becomes very, very difficult to control. So sort of trying to move away from the zone is, it's a good idea. And you can see MEA actually doing the same thing. They're sort of moving out of that area, but they could come into contact with Vibrant here. And if they do, it'll be a much better fight for both of those teams, because obviously Odyssey is off far away and they won't be able to capitalize on the immediate chaos of the fight. Not only that, but I mean the terrain has also then changed, you know. It's not a rural or urban fight. Rural or urban. It's not an urban fight anymore. It's gone more in towards the more rural part of the match there. You know, the more open space. You know, and both teams would then be in a slightly more comfortable position, because you know they can kind of try and play, you know, the fight in a way that works for them. You know, whereas if you're fighting in the city, in you know, in the big compounds there, you are in a sense kind of limited to your line of sight, you know, knowing exactly where the teams are. Whereas if you're out in the open, you know, especially on this map, you know, you have a lot of terrain to play with. You know, there's a lot of, you know, hills and valleys, and you know, and such that you can use to your advantage.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's definitely one of those things, you know, it's like you said, it's often just on the fly decisions. And when it comes down to it, sometimes that little bit more open terrain can be a little bit easier to play around, you know, for an attacking team coming in. You spot a team across the way and you can sort of play around that terrain, whereas you might be slightly more restricted in the closer areas. But yeah, right now MEA has just moved up slowly. You can see 6 is the only one from Vibrant here who might just realize that they're coming out. He should hear the engines of those vehicles driving past, which he should be able to feed that information over to Vibrant, who has moved further down the road. So MEA might just be getting a little bit of a welcome party from Vibrant here.
Yeah, well, it does look like that. I mean, they're moving right up, and exactly as predicted, we got the Vibrant team opening fire right over towards them. Some shots flying in. Baker taking a few hits.
Yeah, they're gonna have to get out of that one real quick. And yeah, definitely a good call as well. They didn't try and jump out the vehicle and take the fight, which you see a lot of the time, actually. A lot of teams sometimes just they see the guns, the guns shooting, they hear the shots, and they're like, here's a fight, and they hop out their car and they use it as cover and they try and sort of take the fight there. And honestly, that can be a difficult position to be in. Obviously, you're close to your car, it can blow up, which can basically just one-shot your whole team. Obviously, you'll be in the middle of nowhere, so you only have your car as cover, which means you're susceptible to nades as well. So yeah, just doing that sort of puts you in a bad position. It's not one of those decisions you really want to make a lot of the time, especially in this situation here. So yeah, MEA, good decision. They pulled straight off the road. They went up. They just avoided that fight completely, managed to get away with no players going down, a bit of a scratch, but ultimately they're A-okay. And they're also inside the zone, which is obviously a pretty good thing. The rest of the teams have made their way up there. We just have some teams from the south moving their way up now momentarily as that blue zone has started to come in. House of Anubis just feeling it a little bit as they make their way up. But yeah, the rest of the teams, they are within that zone. Oh, it looks like Gun is actually going to be taking a fight as well. The Dragons.
Ooh, wow, that is so close together. It's almost it's very, very difficult to spot who's where, because they've got the same colors even. But yeah, here we are. The shots are flying back and forth, and as you can see, of course, we got Mr. Shake here now trying to move up. We got a few knocks already going in to the players there from Gun. So let's see now, will the Dragons get a successful push? We got Mr. Shake now on the move. He is moving up towards Risk. He is busy risking it. So let's see, will it pay off? Well, he's coming up with quite a flank. But this is what I was talking about, but with the terrain, you know, it's like if you play this map correctly and you use all of this terrain in your favor, I mean, you can move all the way up right on top of your enemy without them, you know, getting any visuals on you. Yeah, they might hear you eventually, you know, but that's usually when it's a little bit too late.
Yeah. It's definitely really nice to see. You can see the stark difference here, the sort of performance that we're seeing here now in this match. You know, the teams realize, they understand how to use this map. Just like you were saying, this terrain is definitely usable. And you know, we were talking earlier about how you need to be extra aggressive on this map, and you can use the terrain to do just that. You know, sure, the map is big, but if you know where the sort of your opponents are, if you can find their direction, you can go towards them. You can play around this terrain because it does really lend itself to being able to surprise your opponents or be able to sort of duck out of the way of their fire. So yeah, using this map to its best is really, really strong if you do so. You know, sitting around not utilizing what's given to you is just going to waste your time. Now you can see Dragons there winning their fight against Guns. That's 2 teams now sent back to the lobby, and we have 11 remaining and 42 players left alive.
Yeah, no, quite a few players still left. There is, of course, a lot of potential for a lot of action as these teams, of course, now start making their way up in towards zone. And ooh, down goes Sinister, getting taken by the red zone. It wasn't a fling, sorry, Patch. It wasn't a fling, but
no.
There he goes. But what's also interesting is, you know, like you mentioned, you know, these players, they've realized that this is a different map. You can't play it the same way that you play Erangel, for instance. You can't play it the same because the terrain is completely different. Erangel, you've got loads of buildings.
Yeah.
Miramar, you've got loads of terrain to use.
Yeah, and it's very rocky and bumpy as well.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's great seeing a team, or teams rather, that really utilize the terrain and the map itself. You know, taking full advantage of what the map has and what it's, you know, what it's, you know, got available, and you know, moving into very interesting positions, sneaking up on the enemies, you know, coming in with those beautiful few hits. Because as we were looking at the players there, of course, that was from Gun, as you know, Risk was trying to run away, which I would also have done. You know, you could see he was also trying to use the terrain to try and kind of hide himself. But unfortunately for him, you know, the Dragons had managed to position themselves in such a way that regardless of which approach he takes, you know, they've got him covered.
Yeah.
And that only comes through playing the map over and over and over. And teams that limit themselves to one map, yeah, that's really to their own detriment.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, you know, it's also a case of, you know, being able to understand that there is something that you have to change from map to map, you know, just owes to the sort of caliber that we're looking at the moment, you know, caliber of teams and players that are here in the server right now, because this is really what we're sort of working towards. You know, these teams, they have the basics down. They know how to take fights and be aggressive, or when to be aggressive, when to rotate up, you know, that kind of stuff. That's all a given. You know, we were talking about it in the previous series as something sort of like a core function that needed to be built. These guys already have it down. They're already thinking one step more. You know, it's like, how do we play the map? You know, how do we augment that aggression or that decision making based on the situation, based on the map? What can we use to our advantage? Because that's really that's pretty much the only way you can sort of improve your game. It's by taking it another step. What else can we use to our advantage? Because, you know, that's pretty much it. That's how you win. That's how you get to the top, is just by utilizing absolutely everything that you're given to get as many points as possible.
Yeah, and you know, it's just to see, you know, which way rather they're gonna do it, because you can see also now the players there from Odyssey, they're busy pushing up on the team here from Shellshock, right? While Shellshock is busy fighting with Vibrant. But once again, they are able to get themselves in such a position, you know, positioning themselves on a opposite hill, you know, and really, you know, banking on that, taking full advantage of their position, because they've managed to sneak up on the team without being spotted. You know, even Vibrant is now closing in on Shellshock. Up they come, they're moving in.
Yeah, and now Odyssey and Shellshock are fighting, and Vibrant is fighting Shellshock. Then we even have the players from Spaza Gaming here off to the side who could put some hits in.
Yeah, you know, so this is what I love. You know, is the fact that we're seeing this ingenuity from the teams. You know, they're using different strats and different moves and trying to make the most of what they can with the map, and that is absolutely fantastic. I love it, you know. Yeah, absolutely. And this is also the fight that I was talking about a bit earlier, where you can sort of run in from one team to another, take a long fight. Obviously, now that we've reached sort of the middle portion of the game, you can see that the teams are quite happy to stack up in sort of a line and just take fights from, you know, from either side, because they know, yes, there's another enemy after the one that you're trying to fight, but they're also putting hits into the guys that you're putting hits into, which is an opportunity that you can't miss. So yeah, you can see right now, Spaza Gaming putting some hits in, Shellshock really taking some damage there. They're going to be getting hits quite hard. It's Kage left to try and fend for himself as Vibrant now also getting hit by Spaza Gaming. Yeah, and I mean, both these teams on the outside, Odyssey as well as the players here from Spaza Gaming, you know, they are just having an absolute blast, because they've got two teams sandwiched in between them who not only is battling it out with each other, but they also now have, you know, the two teams on the outside that are also, you know, putting in those shots, trying to get the, you know, the kills in. And I mean, once this is cleared up, we are very likely to see shots, of course, now flying up from Spaza Gaming side, you know, over towards Odyssey. And Odyssey now taking full advantage of this, you know, moving up closer, pushing up right onto the side there. You can just hear the shots now flying in right over towards Vibrant.
Yeah, this is brilliant. You know, you see the teams here capitalizing on the opportunities that are opened up. You know, they know that this fight has left these teams weak. So Odyssey, they're just rolling straight up here towards the players from Vibrant. And Vibrant, they're not going to have much to do. They're sort of pinned down. They have a very difficult situation to try and play around now. And the rest of the teams, they can just keep capitalizing on this. And that's the brilliant thing. That's what we love to see.
Just look at those shots. Some pretty good defense from the Vibrant team, not gonna lie. You know, we got Pounds.
Yeah.
He is now the last remaining player. Let's see, will he be able to get a quick clutch? You know, and also the terrain allows exactly for that. It allows you to get those clutch hits in.
Yeah.
You know, the shots that you wouldn't necessarily have been able to get in. And in fact, all the teams are now pushing up. We got the Dragons and Tempo also going at each other's throats just over towards the side of the map there. We got Odyssey now still trying to move in on Vibrant. Bounce putting in hit after hit. Nova, of course, getting rezzed up. Quick hit in on Sidon. And so far, it looks like they might be turning the tables ever so slightly.
Yeah, Vibrant's playing very, very well, like you said, managing to get the hits in, but Odyssey still raining down the fire, putting in the shots as hard as possible. Vibrant is going to fall. Shellshock also going to be taken down as well in the meantime, and now it's Spaza Gaming moving up on Odyssey. You can see the smoke getting popped. They know they're in for a time. Can they survive the onslaught?
And Tempo also pushing up super aggressively on the Dragons there. Let's see.
Yeah, well played.
Will Dan make the escape? He's making a quick dash for it. Oh, Odyssey pushing up on Spaza Gaming. So let's quickly try and jump over to that. Down goes Blade. All right, back to Spaza Gaming and the players here from Odyssey. So you got one knock on each side. Got Grens flying up. J-Roller just managing to be on the right side of that Gren, of course. You know, just behind the ridge, just out of harm's way. That's the only good side of the Gren that you can be on.
Yeah, sure.
Spaza Gaming now pushing in full force. Oh, down
Really
goes
nicely
Odyssey.
done. And you know what I really just want to say quickly and highlight about that fight that we just saw between Spaza and Odyssey? That fight was a fight worth a final zone.
Yeah.
Like, that was a fight that we could have seen in the final zone. That is how nicely that fight played out. It was really, really nice to watch. Really well played there to all the teams, of course. But now you can see Exile's actually capitalizing off the fact that now they can see the Spaza Gaming players running off in the distance there. They're going to be putting some hits in across the way. Now we do have 8 teams and 27 players left in this zone, most of them relatively spread out, but you can see the Exiles, they're not letting anyone past, and the zone has managed to fall right on top of them there towards the south of the playable area. So the Exiles are going to be pretty happy with that one, as Spaza Gaming now have to recuperate themselves after that very much collapsible chess-style fight with about 4 teams sitting there. You can see the rest of the teams now starting to move their way in, a couple teams towards the north, but yeah, I mean, this is some great quality fights that we've been seeing pretty much from start to finish so far.
Yeah, fully agree with you on that. I mean, and this is what I love to see is you know what the teams are doing. You know how they think. You know, the whole thought process going into it. You know, it's not just like, oh, okay, cool, I'm just gonna wing it and see what happens. You know. You can see that the teams have actually trained. They've worked on things. They've practiced. And it's paying off, and it shows, and that's absolutely fantastic. You know, we got the Temper team now pushing up on the players here from the outsiders. Oh, down goes the players from Spaza Gaming. MEA blowing them up. We didn't see it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But now it's only Staples.
Andrew putting a great few shots into Mayo. We got Kaizen, of course, now moving up with him as well. Bob and Rasta also now about to join in the party. And, of course, the remainder of the Temper team now moving up. Up comes Nos, Shady, and Flacco. Oh, there we go. Up they... Oh, down goes Nos.
Oh, nice.
Oh, quick reactions there by Kaizen. Just spotting the movement off on the side and, you know... just flicks right over towards them, puts the shot in and gets that hit right in on the Temper team.
Yeah.
Ooh, up they come.
Really nice.
About to see the sandwich. Oh. Down goes Tempo. Well done to the outsiders.
Yeah, that was, once again, that was a really nice quality fight there. You know, that could have been in the final zone and it would have been really entertaining to watch, you know, and that's what I love about this series. It's just, you can see the teams, they are very, very capable.
Yeah.
They're very skilled. I mean, just the reactions that you were talking about there, that, you know, quickly being able to pick out the targets and switch and, you know, keep a track of what's going on here, all in the, you know, with relative quick, you know, speediness. It's great. You know, it's great to see. It's really, it's the sort of quality that we're looking for. It's the, it's exactly what we were talking about that we want to be seeing more of. And yeah, it's great. You know, you can see the players are really putting the time in to just improve their game time and time again. You know, every time I come back and I cast a series with you, you know, the players are just looking better and better and better.
Yeah, and I 100% agree with you on that, and it's absolutely amazing to see, you know, that we have that constant improvement, you know, that constant evolution of gameplay, which is absolutely crucial. You know, we need that to take the scene forward, you know, to get it to where we're trying to get it. And the only way that's going to happen is by, you know, players like these that we have that, you know, are constantly evolving their own personal way of playing, you know, trying to better at always, you know, trying to come up with more interesting strats, different moves. It's fantastic. It's fantastic to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to watch now as the final few zones unfold here. You can see that zone going to be falling very much in the center of everything. All the teams going to be forced inwards. There are 7 of them remaining, 20 players left alive. Staples just cowering towards the middle of that zone there. Dan, also a single player sitting there towards the north. The rest of the teams looking relatively healthy, moving their way in, but you can see the Exiles getting in some hits already, making their way up into the zone and trying to solidify their position in it. MEA moving in as well. So let's see how this one unfolds.
But what's also great to note is that, you know, the solos that we have, oh, crazy shots. The solos that we have still make their way to the center part of the zone.
Yeah, you still want to be there to sort of capitalize on stuff. So, you know, even though you're a single player, I mean, we've seen singular players do so much damage, so much work. They have single-handedly changed so many games' outcomes. You cannot underestimate single players, because if they are putting their soul into it, you know, they can get a lot of work done just by themselves. So definitely can never count them out. Now, right now, you can see Exiles taking some shots with MEA, just exchanging a bit of fire there, trying to just put their foot down, you know, get themselves a nice solidified position inside the zone there. The rest of the crew actually from the outsiders moving up just could catch Dan out. House of Anubis down towards the southwest, and you can see the players there from Exist all the way on the eastern side have yet to make their way into the zone. Might just find themselves slap bang between the fight between the Exiles and MEA here, if they're not careful.
That's definitely, either way, it's going to be a close one. I mean, we've got the outsiders now getting hit by the players there from House of Anubis. House of Anubis, of course, now just rolling in on them. We've got Helios literally just rolling in. Oh, there we go. Down goes Bob. We got 3 more outsiders remaining. And of course, now shots starting to fly off in all directions. Everyone now starting to engage. There we go. Some great shots coming in from the players here from Exist. Flame and Clutch, the last 2 left. Vile getting hit. Oh, down he goes. Beautiful shooting there from Flame side. Clutch now just trying to evade the players up on the hill. MEA really trying to get a few hits in as well. Wow. There we go.
Yeah. This is great. This is great. This is exactly the kind of stuff that I've been waiting to see. You can see these teams, they're not afraid to move and just sort of take that aggression. They realize they don't have to be in the zone right now. They still have some room to play with. So they realize, okay, we can actually go out, move away from the zone, because that's the hotspot where everyone wants to be. We can isolate this fight outside, take it, see if we can, you know, win and get the players down, and then we can move back in. So you can see there, that's Exist getting hit pretty hard. MEA, they're sort of sitting in the middle here, and these are the situations we see a lot of the time in this series because the players are so resilient. They're able to really play around and stay alive for as long as possible. And they find themselves in very interesting scenarios, interesting setups here in the final zone. You can see the outsiders now towards the north moving in, surrounded by pretty much every player. The gunshots are about to fly for sure.
Yeah, no, it's about to go, you know, up to about 20 on the crazy scale.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, shots upon shots upon shots just continue ringing out in all directions. MEA is still trying to make a good push in towards zone, and we got the Exiles positioning themselves pretty well in zone here. We got teams moving up. Everyone kind of has to come past them.
Yes.
And
yes.
Wow, down goes Cheddar. Baker landing a beautiful hit on him. We got the House of Anubis team right, of course, just on the edge there. We got the outsiders just down the hill. And it's going to be very, very tricky for the outsiders to make it up this hill. You know, it's not the easiest way. It's not the clearest route up. You know, it is a bit steep at certain points.
Yeah.
But Baker, of course, now moving up, trying to get a few hits in. Oh, sorry, he sends him back.
Oh, I absolutely love this. Just like you say, the Exiles put them in such a good position that they can just use the high ground every time, pull the Obi-Wan Kenobi style, and just take the fight with minimal effort. You can see they only dedicated one player just now to House of Anubis. They have two there, but they pretty much have two players dedicated to each team now, and they can pretty much keep them at bay. The other teams have to move in, and you can see that they are. House of Anubis now trying to move in. The outsiders also getting hit. Ooh.
What a ton of events, though. So down they go. We've got Cheddar. This is the last one left. House of Anubis still has 2 players, 1 knocked. And of course, the Exile sitting with 3 knocked rather. 4 knocked means lobby. There's a quick grin coming up towards Zane. Oh, down he goes. We got Sari, of course, just on the back end here. Keeping a watchful eye, trying to see if he can spot anyone. Cheddar just trying to make sure he keeps them at bay. The outsiders, of course, now have the perfect opportunity to start moving in. Up comes Rasta, in with a flank. Oh! Wow.
That is the danger of putting yourself in between so many teams. And you can see the other teams have done their best to capitalize on that. The Exiles will be taken out. Now there's 2 teams left. It's House of Anubis and Outsiders. Andrew going to be immediately taking some fights there. And already the match is done.
Wow, that was fantastic.
Brilliant.
Wow, that was great. Wow. I mean, that is the kind of players that we want to see.
Yes.
Regardless of what it is that we're watching, that is what we want to see. Plays like we saw in this match. Players playing strategically, you know, executing well thought out plans. Even if it's on the fly, doesn't matter. You know, there's reasoning behind the decision, but amazing plays by the teams here. Really well done, and I'm hella impressed. It was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I could not have said it better myself. That was exactly what we needed to see coming out from these teams here. You know, it really does sort of give you I don't know, that sort of drive. Like, we're seeing stuff like that. It's like, yes, we want to see more of that. We want to encourage these players to keep going, keep building, because like you said, you know, everything that happens across the board is, you know, it's decision making, you know, from the first fights, the first situations that we see. You know, I'm always talking about, oh, do they take the fight? Do they leave? But that's exactly it. You know, every single time the players will find themselves in a situation, make a decision. They're always planning, they're always moving, they're always making something happen around there. And that's why we always are left with these very, you know, very interesting final zones, because at that stage, you know, it's the culmination of so many decisions, so much, you know, thought going into it, and then the players just have to make these final split-second decisions on what to do, where to set up, how to play, you know. And when that sort of erratic element of the zone comes in and sort of decides where it, you know, places, the teams have to make immediate decisions. Okay, where do we go from here? Are we in the zone? Do we have to move into it? Like, where do we want to sit? Where do we play? Where are the teams? What do we do about them? So it's really great to see the players being able to sort of make decisions on the fly like that, being able to really quickly adapt to the situations, and not only adapting to the situations, but being able to play them so well, you know, being able to react to them so well and still, you know, come out as best they can. So yeah, really, really great stuff. Really well played. And yeah, well, I mean, I'm keen for the next one.
Yeah, there we go. Well done. So yeah, big well done to the Outsiders, the House of Anubis team, and of course the Exiles there for finishing off in the top 3 spots there. We saw some great stuff. We got the Outsiders finishing off on 10, as you saw, House of Anubis on 6, and we got the Exiles finishing up on 7 kills. You know, some great kill counts there, and some great action. I can't say great enough, but yes, some pretty insane action, and well done, well played.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think let's get into the highlights from the match. And then we'll bring you back for our 3rd round once we've got everything underway. All right, so without further ado, here we go.
Fire straight back. They're going to go right at it, which is absolutely brilliant. You love to see it. Nice. Simple going to get taken down there. House of Anubis down to 2 players, and of course, the other team as well.
The other way around.
Hub on 2. House of Anubis putting in the hits. Oh, there it is. Nice. So we now in this match, you know, the teams realize, they understand how to use this map. Just like you were saying, this terrain is definitely usable. And you know, we were talking earlier about how you need to be extra aggressive on this map, and you can use the terrain to do just that. You know, sure, the map is big, but if you know where the sort of your opponents are, if you can find their direction, you can go towards them. You can play around this terrain because it does really lend itself to being able to surprise your opponents or be able to sort of duck out of the way of their...
To get in, and in fact, all the teams are now pushing up. We got the Dragons and Tempo also going at each other's throats just over towards the side of the map there. We got Odyssey now still trying to move in on Vibrant. Bounce putting in hit after hit. Nova, of course, getting rezzed up. Quick hit in on Sidon. And so far, it looks like they might be turning the tables ever so slightly.
Yeah, Vibrant's playing very, very well, like you said, managing to get the hits in. But Odyssey still raining down the fire, putting in the shots.
But Gren's flying up. J-Roller just managing to be on the right side of that Gren, of course, you know, just behind the ridge, just out of harm's way. That's the only good side of a Gren that you can be on.
Yeah, sure.
Spaza Gaming now pushing in full force. Oh, down
really
goes
nicely
Odyssey.
done. And nice.
Oh, quick reactions there by Kaizen. Just spotting the movement off on the side, and you know, just flicks right over towards them, puts the shot in and gets that hit right in on the Temper team.
Yeah.
Ooh, up they come.
Really nice.
About to see the sandwich. Oh. Down goes Temper. Well done to the Outsiders. Wow, down goes Cheddar. Baker landing a beautiful hit on him. We got the House of Anubis team right, of course, just on the edge there. We got the Outsiders just down the hill. And it's going to be very, very tricky for the Outsiders to make it up this hill. You know, it's not the easiest way. It's not the clearest route up. You know, it is a bit steep at certain points.
Yeah.
But Baker, of course, now moving up, trying to get a few hits in. Oh, sorry, he sends him back. He keeps them at bay. The Outsiders, of course, now have the perfect opportunity to start moving in. Up comes Rasta, in with a flank. Oh!
Oh.
Wow.
That is the danger of putting yourself in between so many teams. And you can see the other teams have done their best to capitalize on that. The Exiles will be taken out. Now there's 2 teams left. It's House of Anubis and Outsiders. Andrew are going to be immediately taking some fights there. And already... Well...
ties, no ties, no shies, and I'm here. I got no ties, no ties, no shies, and I'm here. And I'm here.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Alright, so we are getting into the third match. If you're only joining us now, you have missed out on a few insane fights over just the previous two matches. It has been, wow, it's been crazy. Absolutely crazy. And yeah, if the first two matches are anything to go on, I just think, you know, the next two that we're gonna have is gonna be, I don't know, just out of this world crazy. And it's fantastic. I'm so looking forward to it. I don't know about you, Battery. But
yeah, obviously. I mean, I certainly am. There's no question about it. No doubt about it. I'm ready for this. What I saw in the previous match was great. Really, really good stuff. As usual, coming out here, it's always just great stuff. So I'm expecting some great stuff in this match, and I can't wait to get into it. We only have 8 seconds to go. We're gonna jump in pretty soon. We'll see what the cards have for us today.
Yeah, and as you can see, there are our teams. You've got 12 teams in the lobby. All of them, of course, now nice and lovely on screen. And in case someone was wondering, there's yet again some problems with load shedding on the scoring side. So we will update you on the scores. The scores will be updated as soon as we know that it's been done. So as soon as we've gotten word. But just keep hitting that refresh button. Pretty sure you will be able to see something as soon as it's done. And speaking of which, we've got the flight path now making its way there from Puerto, and of course heading over to just north of Val del Mar.
Yeah, that's a very, very southern flight path there. Like that is restricting the players to the southernmost portion of this entire island. Like they're gonna have to fly for a very long time and do a little bit of a sprint to get to those to the northern portions of the map. So yeah, there's a little bit of moving they've got to do if they want to get there. You can see some of the teams already just making their way up, but yeah, we'll see where they decide to congregate around. You can already see the clusters of teams just moving together. You can see Impala being occupied there by a Shellshock, and of course Exist. Then Los Leones has got about 3 or 4 teams sitting around in there, that of course being Odyssey, MEA, and Vibrant. You can see Picado also. We've got the Exiles and the Outsiders heading in that sort of direction. Chumacera, we have a Tempa and House of Anubis out towards La Drillera. We have a Gun, and of course the Dragons.
So a lot of similarities in a sense to the previous match, you know, as to you know the locations of the teams and the combinations of teams. You know, again we are seeing Tempa and the House of Anubis players. You know, again we are seeing Gun and the Dragons, you know, fairly close together, and shots already starting to fly up from Tempa side.
Ooh. And the zone just sort of slap bang in the center here, so teams have got quite a lot of space to get comfy in.
Yeah, so we'll just see now how this one will unfold, you know, with yeah, I mean it might very much well turn out to be quite the interesting match. We already got the shots now already flying across between the players here from Tempa and the House of Anubis, or 4KT, whichever way around you want to call them. That's who it is, that's who they are. It's them, they are shooting. Here we go.
Yes.
And we're waiting of course for those 3 teams over in you know, Los Leones to also start fighting. I think that is going to be a very, very interesting, you know, sight to see, to witness, you know, those teams, you know, taking those fights, starting the engagements all right there on top of each other. And that's pretty much also what we've seen over the past few maps. You know, it's just constant engagement across the board.
Yeah. Well, that's how you do it, you know, that's how you put yourself in the best position. You know, you fight over those things that you want. You know, if you want the loot, if you're in a certain area, you go and get it. If you want the spot in a certain area, you go and get it.
Yeah.
You know, and if you want some kills, you go and get them. And right now you can see Tempa is putting those shots in as we speak. House of Anubis taking some serious casualties here in Chumacera right in the beginning already. They are down to 2 out of their 3 players who dropped in. And they're going to be in for a difficult time here if they stick around. So they might want to get themselves out before Tempa take them all down.
Yeah, so Tempa's doing a really great job here, you know, sneaking up on the players once again, you know, utilizing the terrain as we've mentioned in the previous matches. You know, really moving about efficiently, sneaking in, getting those hits, you know, getting those kills. So we'll see if you know, if they'll continue doing that and, you know, get the remainder of those hits in on the players, of course, you know, still for the House of Anubis team there. But I think at the same time, Let's jump over to Los Leones and see what we got cooking here with the players there from Vibrant, Odyssey, and of course MEA.
Yeah, it's a very similar thing actually to what we saw in the previous round, if I'm not mistaken. We saw these, I think it's the exact teams that dropped in to this same spot here in Los Leones in pretty much the same way. Odyssey, MEA, and then of course Vibrant up top, and moving in much the same way as well. You can see Vibrant already looking to push northward, although the fact that they are in the zone might just make it a little bit easier, mean they don't actually have to go anywhere too quickly. But you can see MEA once again doing pretty much the same thing, or a similar thing. They have Vile, of course, up there just towards the north there of Los Leones, scouting out, just having a look, seeing what's going on. So very similar movements here. Let's see if the outcome is the same or if the outcome's different. Obviously, in the previous round, we had the zone towards the north, which means that the teams did have to rotate. This time around, they are nice and snug within the zone for the moment, so they don't actually have to go anywhere, which means that we might see some fights happening. Now, it seems like Vibrant is going to be doing the same maneuver as previously. They're going to be moving up just towards the north there, pushing just away from the cluster of buildings, getting themselves out of that little three-way thing. And if you're wondering why, then just go and watch the previous match where I explain it.
Yeah. In case of doubt, match 2 is a good reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in any case, we have the rest of the teams spread out quite nicely. Now, the fact that the zone has landed so comfortably means that the teams don't really have to go far to get into the zone, which usually means that one of two things can happen, or sometimes both of these two things can happen, but usually either that means the teams will get more aggressive, because that means that they need to make the fights happen themselves, or we see them not being aggressive at all because they realize that the next zone will probably force them to fight, and you don't want to be overly aggressive and get yourself caught out when the next zone lands. So yeah, we will see what happens in the next few moments, but most of the teams are looking relatively safe. You can see Exile's moving into the center of the zone, which is a good move. Obviously, it makes you more likely to be closer to the zone in any given position. Odyssey and MEA still relatively close in Los Leones, Vibrant having pushed up and out. Temper just hovering above Chumacera there. House of Anubis down towards the south of that particular area. Outsiders all the way towards the north of the zone, not really contested by anyone. Dragons just towards the outside, just above Crater Fields. And yeah, everyone else pretty much snug inside that zone. So we'll see if any of the teams get a little bit antsy or if they'll just wait it out a little bit.
Well, we'll see, because we've seen it a few times that the teams get a bit antsy, as you said there. You know, they don't like waiting, you know, for the zone to give them an opportunity. You know, when we've said this many times, they go out, they go find and make the opportunities they want. You know, so it's interesting to see, you know, what decisions they do take. You know, we got the players here from MEA. They slowly but surely making their way around. Especially Mr. Panda making his way around. We got the team from Odyssey still just off on the side, waiting. I'm curious to see whether or not we're going to see any shots. There's some potential for that, and we might maybe just have that. But again, it's the players. You know, they go out, they try and find the action. You know, they're not satisfied with having, you know, it become a bit you know, passive, if you can put it that way.
Yeah, a lot of the time it falls down to that. You know, previously I explained why aggression is so important, you know, because when you let things stagnate, you know, just if you watched the previous match, you would have seen that there were quite a number of teams, or fully stacked teams, should I say, left in the final few zones. Now, the reason for that is because these teams, you know, they know what they're doing. It's obvious. They know what's going on. And if they don't get aggressive, then they know full well that all of these teams will most likely survive to some degree. And that means that you're going to have 12 teams, like 50 players alive in the final zone, and that is ridiculous. Like, we've actually had that happen once before. Yeah. It was nuts. And that's the kind of stuff you want to avoid, because once again, it takes control away from you. It takes control of the situation away, and that's not the best way to get points consistently. And now if you want to reach the top, you want to get consistent points. So the best way to do that is to isolate the fights that you know you can take in a manner that you can take momentum. So, okay, we've got our gear, we're in a good spot, we know how to attack this particular spot, and we know there's a teammate, let's go. Or, oh, we heard some gunshots on this, that means somebody is getting hit hard, we'll just go and capitalize on that chaos, let's move in and take the fight. And that is going to reduce the number of teams that you get to the final zone in, because even though that is taking place, a lot of teams still survive. So you want to take out as many as possible before that happens, so that you can isolate the number of rogue elements that are really going to make it difficult. So, you know, these teams, it's no surprise that they want to get aggressive. You know, sitting around doing nothing is basically a waste of time, because you're only making it more difficult for yourself if you just sit around doing nothing. So these teams, they know they've got to get aggressive. They know they've got to find something to work for them, and that will give them the sort of advantages that they want going forward.
Yeah, that's very true what you say there. What you said there.
Yes.
And it's interesting to see, you know, the different approaches that they take to, you know, finding that action. So yeah, that's pretty much that. It's very interesting to watch them, you know, try and all the different approaches. You got some teams paroling the perimeter. You got other teams, you know, patrolling the center, you know, the more central part of zone. You know, a whole bunch of different strats, a whole bunch of different gameplays, and it makes out for a very, very interesting show at the same time.
Yeah, a lot of teams will send out, you know, like a little scout just to see ahead, see what's going on. You can see Temper, they have MEA all the way on the other side, might just spot out House of Anubis, give away that information that they are very, very close by. You can see Odyssey as well. They've got a player riding ahead, sort of, you know, splitting up, covering the ground. You know, most teams have sort of that net, if in a sense, a net of players just sort of spread out, catching information like, do we see somebody off in the distance? Because, like you said, you know, there are certain obvious spots, like in the center of the zones or towards the outskirts of the zones, where players and teams usually congregate. And, you know, for instance, I was saying how important or how powerful it can be to be right in the center of the zone, because then you'll always be more or less equidistant from pretty much any zone that could spawn, because no matter where it spawns, you know, you'll always be, you know, somewhat close to it. And so being in the center of the zone can be very, very useful. And so that's a really great place to look for teams. They can be like, okay, well, there's likely going to be someone around the sort of central area of the zone. So if we, you know, go and have a look, there's likely going to be someone there. Now, right now, you can see that zone hitting towards the sort of northern portion of the playable area, and a lot of teams down towards the south, now moving up. Odyssey rolling past Temper, House of Anubis, and Vibrant here. And Exiles also right up here towards the center could catch them out towards the side. MEA coming up as well. So there's a lot of players down here towards the south, and some potential fights could definitely be breaking out pretty soon.
Yeah, they could catch them all. So we're just seeing which way around these teams are gonna, you know, decide to rotate. Will we see Vibrant start engaging with the players here from Odyssey? It is possible. We got Odyssey right in front of them. We got Luffy and Nova right there. Oh, there we go. A quick few hits flying up. But the other thing is also is, you know, so these players go out looking for action. They know where the players might possibly be, and then they go there looking for them instead of avoiding those spots. And at the moment, we've got Odyssey surrounding the players here from Vibrant.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how the players decide. You know, if they spot out multiple teams, a lot of them will sort of pull back to re-engage somewhere else. Right now, you can see Odyssey, they've isolated Vibrant. They know there's a team here. They've circled around almost like a pack of wolves, and they're kind of encroaching in slowly but surely. Now, Vibrant, they're not going to have any of it. They're putting the hits in already, but MEA has also been spotted by the Exile. So you can see here, there is a little bit of a game going on here. Tempo on the one side, MEA on the other side, Exiles in the middle, Odyssey moving up on Vibrant. This is going to be spicy.
Yeah, and Silence sneaking up from behind, putting those hits in. You know, so we had the one well, 3/4 of the team moving up. You know, distracting the players, drawing their attention, saying, "Hey, look, we're over here. We're over here." You know, and then of course Mr. Sidon here rotates all the way around, comes in from behind while they're distracted, you know, and then starts putting those hits in. Oh,
yeah, that's what we call big brain time.
And we're down to pounds. It's up to pounds now. Will he last? Will he make it? Odyssey right there, You can do it. Oh, some great shooting. Oh man, well done, well played.
Yeah, that was really, really well played. You know, a spicy little way to play the game from Odyssey, coming out there, getting themselves some kills, wiping out the team there from Vibrant, and that is of course our first team back into the lobby in this map.
Yeah, no, it is indeed. And you know, the teams are a little bit more strategic with their rotations, let's call it that. Yeah. So I think they're waiting to assess the zone, see where it shifts, you know, before making a call and deciding, okay, cool, we're going to move up into this direction, you know, or take, you know, that spot or whatever the case is. But yeah, some of them already on their way. They might be potentially trying to make an assessment of where they think zone could go. Yeah. You know, so now we're just trying to see how that's going to pan out. Will those teams, of course, you know, then get those hits? Will their strategy work out? Will it pay off? You know, will they put themselves in a pretty good spot? And I think the likely answer to that is yes.
Yeah, I mean, the really cool thing that I like to watch and see is, you know, like we've been looking at all these decisions coming out from the teams and the players here. It's really cool to be able to see a team that like isolates another team, like we saw Odyssey do just there. Yeah. They drove in, they saw what was going on there, and despite the fact that there were a number of teams in the vicinity, they sort of realized that Vibrant was isolated. They went there, played their little bait and switch tactic, and it worked pretty much perfectly. Yeah. They got the frags, and now they're moving out again, you know, and that's the sort of stuff we like to see, because it's the players identifying an opening and just going for it, you know. And that's what we were talking about a little while back. That is exactly what you need to do. You need to just find the opening and take it. You know, use whatever information you can to get ahead wherever you can. You know, some teams will see you know, a team and go, okay, we can take this, or they'll see, oh, there's actually 2 or 3 teams here, let's not take this, let's move up, you know. So it's really, really interesting to see the sort of decision making that happens here on the map. Like right now, you can see the sort of tension that we had in towards the southern portion of the zone is sort of diffused, but now it has sort of reignited across towards the middle section. You can see Tampa is right here up with the Dragons, Gun all the way to the other side there of Power Grid, you know, Outsiders and Spaza Gaming just around the sort of edges of that, and the rest of the teams that were now on the southern and eastern portion slowly making their way up.
And it was interesting to watch the Dragons now. You know, they were rotating up in the direction there of Tempa, and you know, Flacco spotted them, so he dropped down. They obviously spotted him and assumed that there's a team, you know, nearby. And you know, right there, change of direction, saying, okay, no, let's rethink this. Let's go somewhere, you know, just reposition somewhere still in zone, somewhere still, you know, where we can, you know, make a good move from. But yeah, that our original spot was not the best decision just yet. And it's great seeing them being able to adapt, you know, just like that on the fly, get everything done and dusted and sorted.
Yeah, no, it's, you know, it's all sort of down to, okay, where are we trying to go? They saw that they were trying to move up on Tempa, and they realized, oh, Tempa actually have, you know, the advantageous position here. If we try and move up on them, it's going to be an uphill battle. You know, it's going to be a difficult thing to sort of fight in against the team that already has the upper hand. So in that situation, they go, okay, we could push this one, but that would basically be taking a fight, you know, on somebody else's terms, and we don't want to push that. So rather they move up, and you can see Gun and Dragons now very, very close. This could maybe be a slightly more even fight that they would potentially want to take a little bit more than the fight against Tempa.
Oh, loads of grins already making his way back and forth. I got Gun now, just waiting on the opposite side here, trying to see what is going to happen. Setting up some smokes, setting off a few grins. Oh, we got some flanks coming up from the side there. That, of course, being Mr. Shake. So Shake once again with the flanking maneuvers. And in fact, now the remainder of the team here trying to move up the side. We got Spaza Gaming and Tempa also now going at it. Shots flying up. Oh, Nerf and company getting hit. So down and goes Nerf. Quick finish to him. I think he kind of just got raised up, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, but in any case, Gun now on their last 3 remaining players here, trying to get stuff done. It's going to be difficult, and I really like this this sort of the way things played out here. You can see Spaza Gaming moving up on Temper because they were on a more even playing field, so they were confident to take the fight. The Dragons rotated off that one, instead taking the fight now against Gun, which is a little bit more of an even battle, although we'll see which way it swings now. But you know, you could just see those 2 sort of spheres of decision making on these 4 teams that are now engaging, you know, side by side here.
Ooh. Some great shots making its way around, and of course red zone in play as well, so that might make it a little bit more interesting as well. So I hope they survive the zone, because it would be a big pity if if they got taken down by the red zone. But also just to mention, we've got the players, of course, they're from House of Anubis. They're closing in on the Exiles, and still Tempo moving up on the players from Spaza Gaming, as you can see in the guild feed there. So we're just trying to see what's going to happen with the players here from Gun and the Dragons. Who's going to take, who's going to come out victorious at the end of this fight? And hopefully there will still be some other fights happening between those 2 other teams that I mentioned just now, and we can potentially jump straight into that. But the Dragons are now in a hot pursuit, pushing up quite aggressively. The Outsiders also now coming in with a bit of a third party there.
Oh,
wowzers!
Those 2 fights actually ended simultaneously. The Dragons beat out their team at the exact same time as Tampa beat their team. So that was very interesting to watch, I must say. You know, both of those teams in, you know, what we would call advantageous positions, and both of them winning out the fight. So yeah, that was quite cool to see, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Sort of panning out as I sort of I wouldn't say predicted, but sort of, you know, nudged in the direction of. Very interesting, very interesting.
Yeah, well done to both teams there, but we've got the House of Anubis still closing in on the players there from the Exiles. Let's see what's happening here with House of Anubis. You can see them just moving around in the blue bottom here, trying to find those angles. Of course, got the Exiles, so you can see further towards the northern side. Ooh, a few shots now starting to fly up. That might, of course, be over towards the team from MEA, and I think that is in fact the case. Panda, as you can see, has taken quite a few hits. His vehicle getting caught on the drop. Well, that's one place, one spot that you can park your vehicle and not really have to worry about where it will be. We got the Dragons, of course, now. They're moving up in behind the Outsiders. And then Temper is also still... What the... Okay. MEA on a roll. Mr. Yakes and Vile there. That's one way to make an entrance, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, rolling your minibus down the hill. Yeah, well done.
Yeah,
well done.
Yeah, I mean, you got wheels, but like that's
It's
not
boring.
fun.
Yeah,
Like there's a reason the car's built like a cylinder. You're supposed to roll it down hills. Like, come on.
Okay. Let's see. I'll go with a yes. Yeah. Let's go with a awkward yes on that one.
Okay.
I'll give you an awkward yes. There we go.
All right.
And it's only awkward because I said it's awkward. So,
okay.
You know, it's one of those things.
Fair
but
enough.
we've got the players here from Exist now battling it out with the team there from Temper. Just up the hill. This is what you would call an uphill battle, literally. I don't know about figuratively, but yeah, it literally is. So let's see. Will they be able to clutch it? Will they get some more hits in to the players there from... from Temper. Ooh, nicey vehicle explosions. The House of Anubis. Yeah, we got the Exiles also getting hit by MEA now. Oh, nice back and forth between the teams here. Beautiful exchange. And of course now Odyssey atop the hill there, just off in the distance, putting a few hits in on the MEA team. So wow, that's great. That's great. I mean, you got the Exiles just up ahead. You know, they get hit by the players here from MEA. MEA is like, nah, you're not gonna get away with it. Puts a shot in. Up comes Odyssey. Puts a shot into MEA. I mean, Temper also now coming in, putting several more shots into the outsiders. All the teams now just, wow, getting really, really close. And the zone is on the side of the mountain.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. We have 9 teams, 31 players left alive. And yeah, we've got a very interesting little loop of players right now. So the outsiders now moving up to capitalize on the fact that the Dragons are caught out in towards the blue zone. Meanwhile, Temper moving up just towards Shellshock there, who are just outside the northern portion of the zone. The Dragons really going to be feeling that one because one half of their team is getting pinned down by the outsiders. The other half of their team is getting pinned down by Temper. And, well, yeah, moving out of that blue zone is not going to be easy, and I'm not too sure if they're going to be able to pull it off. Obviously, Dan and Nero are both out, so they're going to be taken down by that blue zone fairly quickly. And now it's just Blade and Shek West, but they're being pinned down by Temper. And if they try and move the other way, Outsiders is going to be there to catch them.
Yeah. So it is one of those. It is like a catch 42, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a catch 21. It's the catch. Well, no, 44, catch 22, whatever, that one. Math is not the name of the game at the moment. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right, it is just twice as complicated. That's probably just easier. But I mean, the Dark Dragons now. We've got several shots flying in from Flacco now over towards Shek and Blade. They have quite some distance to cover. Flacco just ensuring that it's going to be even more difficult for them to make their way towards zone. You know, he's decided to try and pop the tires out. We've got Shellshock, of course, now just waiting below them here. So depending on which way they decide to rotate, it is definitely going to be interesting. I mean, this cliff face that you can see here, this is the last bit of zone. Yeah. It's not flat ground. It's it's a literal uphill battle at the end.
Yeah. Yeah,
wow.
100%. And you can see all the teams trying to make their way in. The fact that they survived this long and there's so many players, I mean, you have to squeeze all in, and that's just going to be chaos. All the teams just trying to move in, trying to get somewhere, trying to just get themselves into the zone itself is just a difficult enough task. Everyone just trying to find their spot, and that's going to mean that grenades are so effective at just flushing everyone out. Everyone's super close. The outsiders now trying to move in. They're going to be caught out by both the Exiles and MEA. On the outside of that is going to be Exist chilling in the little buildings there. Odyssey just towards that point. Temper just at the top. They've put themselves in a pretty decent position here at the top of these jaggedy rocks. Just getting a nice couple of hits down in towards the rest of the teams because, well, they've got the high ground. They are going to have to make their way down into wood zone at some stage, though.
We're seeing some beautiful shooting, though. I mean, even though the players are all the way up the ridge, you know, and it is such a difficult position to be fighting in, we are still seeing those knocks come through. You know, you still have Odyssey taking advantage of the ridge that they're on. It's nearly in zone. They're going to have to try and make their push up in towards the last bit of zone, which is, of course, just going to be out of here in the open. A building for cover. Baker now being the last one left there for MEA. Shots flying up from all directions, and we've got the players there, of course, now from Temper making their way down the hill side and trying to get a quick few hits in as well. And it seems like everyone is now flocking right over towards Baker here. He is about to get, well, pretty surrounded. We also have Temper right behind Shellshock there, and Odyssey just comfortably chilling on their little ledge, you know, on the edge, in no rush. You know, there's no one there. They're like at peace.
Yeah, they're just waiting for that stuff to happen, and you know that's going to be Temper just trying to pull the trigger onto everyone they can. So that's going to be both the Exiles and Shellshock at the same time, just trying to get the hits in. Going to be wiping out quite a couple of players there. MEA moving up on the Exiles as well, so that's a difficult spot to be in. You can see Odyssey has finally decided to move as well, so they're going to be putting the pressure on right behind MEA, and of course the Exiles trying to put the hits in, but that blue zone is not making its way in. Temper going to be sorry they stayed so long on those ridges. And Shellshock now getting caught out as well. So now the zone is tiny and the remaining players are squished in even further. The shots will be ringing out as per usual. And, woo!
Yeah.
Spicy they are.
Oh, this is going to be insane. It is up to Yakes now for MEA. Oh, Yakes. Down he goes.
And just like that, 3 teams.
Say again?
Just like that, we've got 3 teams, and half of them are Odyssey.
Yeah. So we got Shady left there for Tempo. We've got 2 players, of course, from the Exist team, Clutch and Flame, and then of course we have the full squad there from Odyssey. Now, what's interesting to see is how the players chose to, how they chose to make their way down from up on top of that hill. Some of them opting to just jump, hoping for a res down at the bottom. And
I think that was a bit of a tough spot to be in, because I think they were hoping that things would get resolved earlier than they did. Maybe they weren't expecting this zone to be the final one. They maybe like the previous one would be the final one, and everyone would just sort of wipe each other out.
Yeah.
But the players, they know how to play around this terrain, and so they really prolonged the fight. And well, now here we are. This is the result of that chaos. People throwing themselves off of cliffs. It's only Clutch and Flame left to try and defend against the full stack here from Odyssey. And well, it looks like this will be in Odyssey's favor here. They have the man advantage. They can just move up and just put those hits in. Oh, actually, they don't have to move up because the blue zone is about to push Exist up.
Yeah.
So they can just sit here and wait for Exist to run into their crosshairs, and that will be it.
Oh, all their grins.
Yeah.
It's now up to Flame. Up comes the last grin. Just saw it coming in. It's right in front of Flame. Oh, down he goes. There we go. There we have it. So Odyssey getting themselves the chicken dinner, and again, 10 kills. Well, not for Odyssey, but for the chicken slot. Well done, well played. We've got the players there from Exist coming in second with 3 kills. We got the Temper team finishing off with 8 kills in third place. We got MEA finishing in fourth with 3. Shellshock in fifth place with 0 kills there. We've got the Exiles finishing off in 6th place with 6 kills. We've got the Dark Dragons in 7th with 3. We've got the Outsiders in 8th with 2. We've got House of Anubis / 4KT over in 9th place with 0 kills. Spaza Gaming as well as Gun, and then also Vibrant also going home empty-handed for this round. So yeah, there we go. There we have it. That was our 3rd round. We've got 1 more round to go. We're changing back over towards the Erangel map. And I really, really think we are going to see a different game altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be insane. I mean,
for sure.
At least there's no crazy blue zone on that one. It's not the Miramar blue zone. I mean, the Miramar blue zone is pretty messed up.
Yeah, that's for sure.
All right, so without further ado, we're going to jump up into the highlights of this match, and then, we bring you guys back as soon as we've got our last and final match. That usually means the same thing. As soon as we got the final match all set up and ready to go, so without further ado, here we go. It's all the way around, comes in from behind while they're distracted, and then starts putting those hits in. Oh,
yeah, that's what we call big brain time.
And we're down to pounds. It's up to pounds now. Will he last? Will he make it? Odyssey right there. You can do it. Oh, some great shooting. Oh man, well done, well played. The players here from Gun and the Dragons. Who's gonna take who's gonna come out victorious at the end of this fight? And hopefully there will still be some other fights happening between those 2 other teams that I mentioned just now, and we can potentially jump straight into that. But the Dragons are now in a hot pursuit, pushing up quite aggressively. The Outsiders also now coming in with a bit of a third party there.
Oh,
wowzers. Puts the shot into MEA. I mean, Temper also now coming in, putting several more shots into the Outsiders. All the teams now just, getting really, really close. And the zone is on the side of the mountain.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. We have 9 teams, 31 players left alive. And we've got a very interesting little loop of players right now. So the Outsiders now moving up to capitalize on the fact that the Dragons are caught out in MEA, and of course the Exiles trying to put the hits in, but that blue zone is not making its way in. Tampa going to be sorry they stayed so long on those ridges, and Shellshock now getting caught out as well. So now the zone is tiny, and the remaining players are squished in even further. The shots will be ringing out as per usual, and woo,
Yeah.
spicy they are.
Oh, this is gonna be insane. It is up to Yakes now for MEA. Oh, Yakes, down he goes.
They can just move up and yeah, just put those hits in. Oh, actually, they don't have to move up because the blue zone is about to push Exist up.
Yeah.
So they can just sit here and wait for Exist to run into their crosshairs, and that will be it.
Oh, all their grins.
Yeah.
It's now up to Flame. Up comes the last grin. Just saw it coming in. It's right in front of Flame. Oh, down he goes.
world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just kicking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Counting like the four-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
Got enough of every melody, they all sound the same. Yeah. For my broken heart, no remedy. But maybe if you stay, we can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. Oh, my darkest memories now let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. We can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. All right, so fourth and final match. This is the last one, the last chance for the players to make any changes on that leaderboard. Yeah, Patchy.
Yeah, it's me. It's me, Patchy.
Yeah.
Thanks. Don't
I
wear my name out too much.
You and the tree. Welcome back.
Yeah, the tree's cool. It's we're out here.
Yeah.
As per usual.
Yeah. This is gonna be a crazy one. I mean, I'm excited. I mean, just look at the teams here. You know, it's gonna be great.
I'm super keen to see how the teams play it because unlike some things that we've seen before, I think this time this particular match will be something of great interest because we're either about to see a really, really passive map or a really, really aggressive map. Yeah. And potentially both at the same time, but we'll get to that. Obviously, we'll see how that unfolds. But right now, like you said, it's sort of the last chance for these teams to put themselves on that scoreboard, for them to get what they want. So they're going to have to be working super hard. Like, this is it, you know? Yeah. And I really hope that that's what it feels like.
Yeah, it is the final chance. I mean, there's no need to even, you know, introduce the teams or whatever. Like, you know who's playing, you can see who's there, you know what they do, you know how they do. Now we're just gonna see which way around it is that they're gonna be taking it for this match, you know, where they're gonna land, who's gonna start the, you know, the early game pushes, who's gonna try and take advantage, you know. Yeah, but let's see. This is I think this is gonna be really, really interesting, you know, seeing those 100%. Strats and everything, you know, come full circle in the last match. Yeah, absolutely. Now, gonna have a look. You can see that flight path just slicing across the map. Team's gonna be jumping into that military base already. So we're gonna be seeing Spaza Gaming and Gun, as well as MEA, all dropping into that military base. So nice utilization of that particular spot. You can see, of course, Primorsk also getting a little bit of attention. As per usual, Pachinki, School, Rozhok most likely going to be seeing some little action as well. Yasnaya, of course, going to be a classic spot as well. And ultimately, the teams will have plopped themselves down across that board wherever they like. So yeah, pretty spicy standard stuff. I'm just waiting to see now if we see the fight in the military base between MEA and, of course, Spaza Gaming, and then see how the teams decide to rotate around from now on. Well, we already got those shots flying up straight there from the MEA team, you know. Just on the way in, they're already, you know, taking the engagements, putting those shots in, you know, telling the players there, you know, we are here, we've seen you, we know where you are, you know, we're not gonna back down, we're coming. We're moving in. Get ready or get wrecked.
Look at the zone, though. Look at the zone, though.
Wow.
You said, literally, before this match began, that we can't see any crazy, like, we don't get crazy zones on this map. And we might just be, you might have just given it a bit of a caster's curse there. And we might be seeing a bit of a spicy one.
Well, not that it's a bad thing, you know?
No, for sure.
Because in comparison, Erangel zones are nothing compared to, you know, what we see on Miramar.
Yeah.
They are nothing in comparison. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what these players are going to make of the zone. It is a bit of a crazy one. It is a bit different.
Oh, could be.
So yeah. I mean, of course, now the players here, the team here, Vibrant and the outsiders, Appy and Rozhok and School, you know, they're gonna have to make quite a bit of, have to cover quite a bit of distance to make it all the way up. So,
yes. And also, if the zone heads towards the military base, then we're going to be seeing some hectic bridge camping 100%, because if the zone lands up on the military base, there are only two ways you get into that island, and that is either by one of the bridges or you swim.
Yes, that is true. I was prepping myself for you saying you either take the one bridge or the other bridge, and then I was about to say like, yeah, but you can swim, eh? And then, so luckily,
I outbrained you.
Well done, Patchy.
Thank you.
Anyway, and of course, also to add to that, if it is a military-based final, we're gonna have one very, very happy Patchy.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, shots
Absolutely.
flying right up to Deity now, as MEA is just taking a few hits at him there.
Yeah. Fighting for the dominance of the island. We'll see if they can come out on top of this one.
Yeah, and they'll be doing it island style, so let's see what happens. Not that I know what that is, but we'll find out.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Military island style. Let's just finish make it make more sense. Because I just lost myself in that one. But any guys, the Spaza Gaming, they're still pushing up on the players here from MEA now. MEA did sneak in a little bit, but we got Deity now sneaking up the side. He's moving up. You know, we got a few shots there from Vile heading in as well. Putting those SKS shots right up in towards Deity. Up comes Berserk, running up in hot pursuit of Panda and Baker. Oh, quick drop shots. Let's see, will he get it? Up comes Baker. Fortunately for them, they've got smoke in the way. Berserk gets a quick thirst there on Yakes. Now let's see, will Baker and Panda get any more hits in? Will Vile pop off another one? Oh, down goes Deity. Panda getting a beautiful knock. So Chris,
Ooh.
everyone pushing up, including Chris. Come on, you can do it. Baker sends a beautiful grenade into Berserk.
Perfectly placed.
Yeah, it's like it had his name on it. And let's see,
Yeah.
up comes Staples. Oh, it is now up to Chris. Will he get this res in on time? It's just Chris and Deity. Deity about to get res up. There we go, he's up. Oh, quick few shots from Chris's side. Down he goes. Now let's see, will Deity be able to clutch it? There we go. Ooh, so close. Oh, what a clutch.
Wow. That was a stellar job from MEA right there. They just played that one so well.
Insane. I
Wow.
love it.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. Really, really well played there. Nice stuff.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, that was beautiful gameplay. And you know, that's the start of the match.
Yeah.
That's the start. That's like a, you know, welcome to Wrangle. I'm super excited about the upcoming sections, and we've got the players from Shellshock now pushing up towards the bridge. We got Tempo waiting for them on the other side. So we already got our first kind of partial bridge camp, you know, more like an end of bridge camp happening.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how this one resolves. Obviously, you can see Shellshock moving down. House of Anub is actually moving in as well, being camped out there, of course, by Tempo. We'll see them putting those shots through. Very interesting little jam we've got going here. Bit of a sandwich in that bridge.
Yeah.
But something interesting that I've actually been thinking about now is when a zone like this happens, do you like what would inform your decision on whether you take the chance of going to the military island or staying on the mainland? Because that zone can still technically be on the mainland. It could still fall there. So how do you make the decision, okay, we're going to cross the bridge now, or we're going to swim now, go around and we're going to take the chance that the zone is going to fall on the military island? Or do you just say, we're going to stay safe, we'll stay on the main island and take the chance that if it's not on the main island, then we have to cross over and somebody could potentially be watching?
I think it's a bit of a coin toss. You know, you got to decide, you know, are you going to just try and go there and hope that it kind of pays off? Because, I mean, there's no actual way of predicting where the zone is going to move. I mean, a lot of people have tried it in the past. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, which points to one thing that, well, either you have it or you don't, you know? There's no definite way in saying, okay, cool, so if this is the zone and it moves in this way, then it's going to go there, because we've seen that zone start off in a fairly simple, straightforward way, and of course, you know, ended up all the way in the water. Yeah. So, you know, there's no definite way, and I mean, yeah, I think most of the time it comes down to luck. You know, you make a decision, you stick to it, and see whether you made the right one. You know, whether or not it's in your favor or not. And that's pretty much, you know, That's pretty much that. I mean, I don't think there's anything more to that.
I mean, the only other potential thing that I can think of that you might want to do is set yourself up in a position where you could rotate to either one at the drop of a hat. But that's very difficult to do, and there are not many places where you can do that. Right now, most of the teams are sort of making that decision, going, okay, it's going to be the island most likely, so we're just going to move there. That's resulting in a lot of teams trying to get down. Now you can see Vibrant right up here with the team from, I cannot click, oh, there we go. That's House of Anubis. They're going to be super close. There's some hits going through. You can see they are taking the shots. Odyssey now moving down from the top as well. Most likely going to run straight into them. Shellshock already taken damage on the bridge, has retreated, but they're still there. In the mouth of that bridge. This whole squad's about to roll up, and this is about to become very, very clustered.
Yeah. Oh, 6 doing some great shooting here. And yeah, it is going to get clustered pretty soon. Oh, well done. As soon as we, of course, figure out which way the zone's going to move, you know, because at this point, no one knows, you know? Yep. But one team that does know, however, is Odyssey, that is rolling up full force on Vibrant. Mr. 6 is in the lobby now. Rip.
Yeah, so that's just really good capitalization. But right now, Exiles are actually moving down there as well. So this is about to be still very clustered because Shellshock is here. Odyssey just moved up. Exiles are moving in. And whoever wins that fight at the top of that bridge there, they're going to meet Tempa, who are just sitting at the bottom, waiting for them to cross it. Yeah. I think the best situation right now to be in for any of the teams that are not on the island already is to not go to the island now, because I think they have a better chance of staying alive and crossing their fingers that the zone lands on the mainland than chancing going over to the island now while it's so populated and 100% being bridge cap.
Yeah. No, definitely. We'll see. I mean, like I said, the zone can go either which way. You know, it can either decide to go to main, it can go to, you know, to the island. And we will only find out in a few moments' time once the zone has made its, you know, its next shift, decided where it wants to go.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's going to be interesting to see whether or not these some of these teams are going to have to make a, you know, have to pull up their handbrake and go the opposite way.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so Exiles moving up, Odyssey right here as well. Looks like the Exiles are just keen to get to the bridge. Interesting that all of these teams have decided that it's more likely that the zone is going to land on the military island. I think that's probably a decent decision to make. That's probably, you know, there's a good chance that it will land on that island, but we are about to find out whether it will or not. And I think the Exiles and Odyssey are probably in the best position to rotate if it's not. Interesting enough, it's going to still encompass both of them. So we're actually going to see both the mainland and the island still be in the zone. So it's only the next one that's really going to decide where it sort of lands. We might even get a bridge final zone. Yeah. We will still have to wait and see. But right now, MEA taking some shots towards Gun. Outsiders moving up just right here next to the Dragons. They're going to have to get into zone relatively soon. But interestingly enough, Tempa, Exiles, and Odyssey are all still in the zone, and they don't actually have to go anywhere, but they're still most likely going to get into some sort of confrontation.
Yeah, we'll just see which way it turns out. You know, we got the Outsiders, they got their vehicle getting blown up, well, or rather Kaizan's vehicle getting blown up. I don't know where my English went today. It was probably the shock of having Apache back with me again. Oh, there we go. The Outsiders getting hit now by the team there from the Dragons. Kaizan about to get rezzed. And we've got a few more teams just looking at that bridge. Odyssey and the Exiles right there on top of each other.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Dragons really putting those hits in. Let's see, are they going to rush up?
Yeah, some very interesting decision making here from the teams. Odyssey going to be putting those hits in towards the Exiles. Of course, now Dragons also putting the hits in towards Outsiders as they move up, trying to just shoot them as they make their way up towards that zone. Oh, well done. Spicy. DK's happy about that one.
Oh, so...
But
we're seeing a lot of shots there in the northern part as well. So Outsiders down to their last 2. We've got that fight, of course, brewing on the northern side between Odyssey and the Exiles. There we go. So the Outsiders now just opting to rather rotate out, trying to position themselves in a better spot. So let's jump up here to Odyssey and the Exiles and see what we got cooking. Oh, so there's 3 on the Odyssey side, 3 on the Exile side. Well, 4.
Yeah.
Counting MG as well, because he's way off on the edge.
Yeah, they've actually made a really good decision here. Odyssey and Exiles have both realized they don't need to cross the bridge, and until they're forced to do that, they're actually just going to camp these houses, which I think is probably a good call. But they know that if they make a move now, they could potentially get caught out. So right now they're just taking pot shots at one another from one house to the other, which is fine, which is great. Interesting to note here, and this is an aside, not necessarily, there's no way that the players could have known this, but a lot of the teams would still potentially be alive if they had decided to stay on the mainland, just with the way the zone is poised right now. Obviously, there's no way they could have known that, but like maybe if a couple of teams had taken the middle ground instead of dedicating towards the island so heavily like we saw them do, they might still be alive. In any case, we've got 9 teams, 31 players still remaining, most of them on the military island there, just within the zone. Not a problem. We've got, of course, Odyssey and the Exiles, who are the only teams not on the island, but they are right there up at the top of the bridge, taking some shots towards one another. The rest of the teams sort of rotating around the island. You can see the Exist team, I believe it is, moving just across the coast in the water. They're just making their way around, trying to stay as safe as possible. Moving through the military base is a little bit of a hot zone, in their minds at least, and to some extent it is. And yeah, now we're just going to wait and see how the teams respond to the next zone.
What's also, like you said, it's if the teams had known, that there was no immediate need for them to rotate. Just looking at the sheer size of it, we only have 2 teams on the main island. The other 7 sitting on the military island. It's not the biggest piece of land there.
Yeah. I mean, we have seen plenty of games where literally no one touches the military island, and now the majority of teams are on it.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. It's crazy, and I mean, it'd be interesting to see if this zone now decides to rotate and change up towards the northern side, right?
Yeah.
It is gonna change the whole thing because, if it makes a shift towards the northeastern side of the current, current zone. That'll just be the bridge and this piece of land that we have these 2 teams sitting on.
Yeah. Suddenly, Exiles and Odyssey will be in the best position ever.
Yeah. I mean, that would be an absolutely insane shift, but the likeliness of that, we don't know. Once the zone now decides, whether to be kind or cruel, we'll find out.
Yeah. I absolutely love the movements here from MEA Gun and Temper. All 3 of them, or potentially Temper maybe just staying in one position, but all 3 of them seem to have realized that being in the center of the zone is probably the best place to be right now, because you'll be closest to where the next one is going to land, whether it goes north or south. So they're in pretty good positions. It's going to be those teams at the southern portion. It's going to be Outsiders, Dragons, Exist, and of course Shellshock that will have to rotate the furthest if the zone lands towards the north. We're about to find out.
Well, the players here from the Exiles are now getting rushed. We got Cheddar just getting raised up. Bindog moving in. Oh, down goes Zane. So MG and Cheddar, the last 2 hopefuls left. MG, of course, now way off in the distance. Let's see which way he's gonna go. Maybe Cheddar will still clutch this. No idea. He does jump off the roof. Tries to move in. Up comes Odyssey now in hot pursuit. Let's see, will he get it? Oh, beautiful hit. Down he goes. There we have it. So it is now up to MG. For the rest of the Exile team, well played to Odyssey. For taking them down. And there we go. Okay, so zone has shifted now down over towards the southern part, over towards the military island. In Temper, of course, as you mentioned, in a beautiful position. Oh, look at Flacco getting those hits in on MEA. So MEA moving up to get a quick gander at the at the bridge rather. Oh, MG taking full advantage of his position now, because we had MEA being distracted by Temper.
Brilliant from
Wow.
MG. Brilliant. He knows this is it for his team.
Yeah.
He's the only player remaining. You have to take every advantage that you can get. He spots them out and he's like, "No, I can just take these free kills," and he just takes them.
Yeah.
Any points at this point is is good to grab, and if he can try and stay alive and continue doing that, he might just survive this one. Ooh, massive explosion, gonna take out Shellshocked down towards there. So well done to Exist. They managed to get that one. MG trying to get past its tempo. He's going to absolutely gatekeep the heck out of that one. He's not going to be let in anytime soon. He might just have to go for a dive into the water. Potentially his only escape from the tempo. I think he knows. The rest of the teams are towards the zone, of course, except for Odyssey, who also has to make a decision whether they want to cross that bridge or go swimming. We will see. MG actually going to straight up dive right off the bridge.
He makes it safely off the bridge. Let's see how far he makes it away from the bridge. Because I mean, Temper knows where he is. We got Flacco pushing up all the way right on top of him. It's like, there's not a lot of options for him. And the only way out is kind of, almost a direct line of sight for the players here from Temper. So it's going to be quite a tricky one, and we also still have not... Oh, man. Odyssey. There we go. Odyssey on the northern side, making their way over the bridge. So let's see. Maybe if Odyssey moves in like they are right now, it might cause a bit of a distraction there for Temper. And, of course, providing MG with the perfect opportunity to roll up. You can see J-Roller making one wrong turn there.
Yes.
And he gets absolutely slaughtered by Temper.
Yeah. That is, that's a difficult part about making the decision whether you want to just yeet across the bridge or take a swim. Taking a swim can be slow and excruciating and you might get spotted out, but also you avoid being bridge camped like that, which is an incredibly powerful strategy to use in a situation like this. But it has given MG a little bit of time to back off a little bit, so he might go unnoticed if Temper don't hunt him down. Now, that is also going to mean that the rest of the teams are inside the zone. So we have MEA, of course, Panda, sitting right next to Temper there. Right on the other side is, of course, MG, who's managed to slip away just outside of the zone. Odyssey have made their way in. Of course, Exist and the Dragons are here. Gun right in the center, and Outsiders towards the outside. That blue zone moving in very fast, so MG is going to have to move his behind if he wants to make it in here. Otherwise, he's about to get sandwiched real quick.
Yeah, and we might even see Panda coming in with a nice sneak attack third-party maneuver on the players here from Temper. I mean, he's put himself in a very ideal position there. Gets one hit in already. One down, 3 to go. Of course, giving MG the perfect opportunity to now start rotating around. Let's see, will he make it up into zone safely? He is on the approach. Temper, of course, now being distracted with Panda here, trying to put those hits right into them.
Yeah, Panda doing a good job of just putting in some hits into the backs of Temper.
Yeah.
But now that zone landing up to the northern portion of the playable area is going to move all the teams up. Gun already inside. MEA, actually, Panda already inside. Temper just have to move over slightly. So now we're about to see how the teams play inside of this very unusual zone, because I doubt the players have had as much experience playing here in the final areas as they have anywhere else.
And we also then have, the Dragons and the Outsiders on, the southwestern side of the map. Also battling it out. The Dragons now getting ready to rotate in. We have a few shots there from the Outsiders, of course, flying over towards them. Gun now sitting very comfortable in zone. They've got a drop coming down right on top of where they are. I mean, life couldn't get any better.
Yeah.
MG getting shot at now by the players here from... Exist. They're, of course, heading right past Temper. A very strange and difficult spot to be stopping in. Panda, of course, still alive right there. We've got Odyssey now also pulling up. Wow.
Yeah, they're all moving up in towards the zone, and Exist sees an opportunity to get in, and they're like, okay, we're just gonna move. But they land right next to Temper, and Odyssey pushes up, so they're getting sandwiched from both sides, which is not the greatest spot to be in right now.
Yeah. Well, that's how you know that a rotation was a good idea. If you know the spot that you're heading to is where all the other teams are. You know, they say great minds think alike. So
Yeah.
yeah, good rotation. Just
Yeah.
just a tough one on the timing, and Flacco landing that finishing blow in on MG. Well done. Odyssey taking out the players there, of course, now from Exist. Wow.
Yeah. Very interesting stuff. We have 6 teams remaining. Panda managing to make himself scarce. The rest of the teams just sort of sorting themselves out across the board. We have a nice long line of players across the map. We've got the Dragons, Gun, of course, Odyssey and Temper right up here. The Outsiders just once again on the outside, not really engaging with the rest of them, letting them sort themselves out for now. Odyssey, you can see them huddled up right up against this crest, this rise here. Temper occupying these houses, trying to put up the fights. We'll see who comes out on top of this little situation here.
And this eastern side of the zone is absolutely on fire. I mean, nearly all the fights that we are seeing at this current moment in time is just here, you know? We got Odyssey.
Yeah.
We got Odyssey there. We got the players from Temper. We got Panda just behind them. We got Gun, you know, positioned in a beautiful spot right there in zone. They're just now trying to wait and see. You know, the zone is shifted up once again. We've got the Dragons now that have to move up, as well as the Outsiders. Oh, this is going to be a crazy finish. And I know we use the term crazy quite a lot. Because we can't use other terms that we'd really like to use. You can kind of fill in the blanks. But yes, we've got that craziness about to start now, as the Outsiders pull up on the Dark Dragons once again. And of course, Gun just up ahead of them, up on the hill. Moving as one, just focusing all the attention over towards where we've got the Dragons. And yeah, I think this is going to be a very interesting one. Shots already starting to fly up. Oh, there we go. There was a vehicle explosion, but there was no one in it. Well done though, provide some nice cover.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Yeah.
it's one of those, that was just a teaser of, you know, what is yet to come. Let's go with that.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, right now we've got a very interesting sort of situation here. The Outsiders are sitting at the bottom of the map. Dragons on the one side, Gun right in the middle. Odyssey trying to just do something in this little ditch here right next to Temper. But something has to sort of move, right? Like this little stalemate, maybe this little setup we've got going here needs to resolve at some point, and start to take one another out. So now we're going to see Odyssey getting hit by Temper, which is the east side of the map, starting to resolve itself.
Yeah, we're waiting to see if this leads to anything other than what we are seeing right now. You know, we've got Gun also now trying to get a few hits in on the Odyssey team there. We've got the Dragons also trying to position themselves. We got Panda now getting several hits put into him, so much so that he gets sent to the lobby. And we are down to 5 teams, everyone of course now just moving about, trying to find, you know, a good angle to take, you know, the pushing teams from. And one thing that you don't see too often is, you know, Tempo holding one position for very long. You know, they don't stay in one place.
Yeah,
but
I can tell you why. I can tell you why they've done that.
Yeah.
Just there, right there, before the zone had shifted, they were holding right next to that. They knew Odyssey was in the ditch, and they knew if the zone shifted in their favor, Odyssey would have to push out. So they were just waiting to see if the zone would shift and Odyssey would be flushed out in that way. It didn't happen. Zone's all the way on this side, which means they're going to have to move up once again.
Yeah, and that's where I was going with it. You know, it's like you know something is up when, you know, teams start behaving in a way that we're not used to normally see them doing. You know, you know something's up, and also, you know, just based on I'd also imagine that, you know, purely based on the competition that we are having here, you know, that is not, it's not something you just want to do. You just risk it, you know, just move. You obviously want to ensure that you've thought it through properly. Make sure that, you know, well, not take like 5 hours and several drafts, but, you know, just make sure that you've got a good plan and you're going to execute it in an appropriate way.
Yeah.
And they are now flying up. Well, that's Odyssey. Flying up in towards zone. Right here next to Rasta. And they are starting their assault on the players there from Gun. Oh.
Yeah, this is a very difficult spot to be in. Gun on the high ground. They've got a really great spot here, and Tempa know it. They know they're going to be pushed out. They know they have to do something because they're on the back foot. Odyssey, of course, getting hit pretty hard from all sides, not really being in the best spots to sort of defend. And now it's Dragons, outsiders, Gun, and of course Tempa. But Gun is in a pretty decent position. If they can defend this spot, they might be going forward into quite a nice little end for them. That is, of course, if they can manage to survive. So some shots going forward now. Dragons going to be getting hits. Gun know they need to hold on to the spot for as long as possible.
And what's interesting to note is that Gun is really good at positioning themselves into in a really good position, or a spot that could turn into a really good position, you know, depending on the zone shift. And what I've also noticed is that Tempa doesn't always necessarily place themselves in the best position at first, but they are really good at fighting into a good position. You know, they kind of bulldoze in and say, like, this is my spot, I'm taking it, get out. You know?
Yeah, this is mine now.
Yeah, and I mean, it's two different strats, two different play styles. Oh, down goes Tempa. Well done to Gun.
Yeah, Tempa was on the back foot there. There was very little they could do, not much cover.
Yeah, but they are very good at, you know, at a position.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're in a position that they want, they've got the ability to just roll up and just say, well, goodbye, off you go.
Yeah. Well, right now, the outside is pretty much going to be giving up the shoulders. It's Dragons and Gun, basically, to fight it out. Now you can see the Dragons moving up, just pushing up with the cover of smoke to try and get themselves in a good spot to fight Gun. But Gun, with this little perch they've got going here, could still wreak a little bit of havoc. They know they need to hold on to whatever they've got. The shots are landing. They're looking pretty good here. Can they manage to keep it up, or will Dragons win the assault? It's going to be Nerf made to fall.
Oh. It's basically riding on Dan and Nero now. Blade is down. Oh, Nero with a beautiful grin. Oh, Dan. Will Dan get it? Up comes Gun. Yes, so good so far. Let's see. We'll risk. Oh! One more, one more.
This is such a difficult spot to be in.
Wow.
Wow. That was close.
Holy PUBG. That was... what a finish. Well freaking played to Gun. Wow, just swooping in, managing to get that last hit in before taking the last one. Wow, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was great stuff all across the board. Nice.
Now that was insane. It wasn't nice. What are you coming in with nice?
Yeah,
was...
well, I mean, yeah.
What?
It's more like nice.
Were we watching the same match? I'm just like, you know, just double checking, making sure. What a great finish that was to the finals. Gun getting the chicken there with their 7 kills. The Dark Dragons coming in with second place and 5 kills in this last match. We got the Outsiders finishing off in 3rd place with 2. We got Tempa managing to get 5 kills there in 4th place. We got Odyssey / ResHaunted in 5th place there with 8 kills. MEA coming in with 5 kills in 6th place. We got the players there from Exist, of course, finishing in 7th with 2. The Exiles finishing in 8th with 2. We got the players from Shellshock going back to the lobby in 9th place and empty-handed. We got Vibrant, of course, claiming 10th place and 4 kills. We got the team there from 4KT / House of Anubis in 11th place with 3 kills. And then, of course, Spaza Gaming being sent back to the lobby with 1 kill in 12th place. Oh, man.
Yeehaw.
Wow.
Yeah, that was nice. That was. I love it when we get to see teams being made to sort of adapt to the things that we don't usually see. Like the fact that that zone just plopped itself down immediately onto the military base was really, really interesting, because that, like, we don't get to see that too much. The zones usually land on the main island somewhere. So being able to see what the teams do in response to that military base zone is very interesting, because you know, we haven't seen it before very much, at least if we have. So, you know, it was great for me to just actually look and have a look and see what they did in response to that. You know, what was their thought process and whatnot behind that whole thing. And because we saw a lot of teams move into the military base very, very quickly. They seemed to be very convinced that that final zone was going to land on the base, which of course it eventually did. Although there was a little bit of sort of back and forth in the middle of the zones. You know, we didn't know it was going to go north or south, but ultimately it did land on that base. So it was interesting to see the teams commit really, really heavily to just drive straight into the bases. And it led to some very interesting stuff. And then, it was a very, very interesting game. And, spicy.
No, I was just double checking, because you said, no, it was nice. I was like, were we watching the same match? Because, I mean, that was anything but. It was, no, but really, really well done to all the teams there. You guys put up an amazing fight. And this is how you know it's a final. When you see this kind of gameplay, you know it's a final. You know? That was just absolutely amazing. Well freaking done. Well played. That is how you end off a season. Well, that was an amazing performance. Well done. I mean, all the teams, you guys played fantastically. You played the game the way we like watching it. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, so I want to thank Petchy. Thank you once again for another season. We are done with yet another one. Man. And thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you for the teams for putting up the fight, putting up the show. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. And we're gonna end it off with the highlights from the match. There aren't that many, only about 8 from what I can see. But anyways, we got some highlights coming up, and we'll see you in the next one. That of course is the end now of the Mettlestate Pro Series Season 5. So once again, thank you so much, everyone, and see you in the next one. All right, so without further ado, here we go. Staples. Oh, it is now up to Chris. Will he get this res in on time? It's just Chris and Deity. Deity about to get res up. There we go. He's up. Oh, quick few shots from Chris's side. Down he goes. Now let's see, will Deity be able to clutch it? There we go. Ooh, so close. Oh, what a clutch.
Wow. Shots. Odyssey now moving down from the top as well. Most likely going to run straight into them. Shellshock already taken damage on the bridge, has retreated, but they're still there in the mouth of that bridge. This whole squad's about to roll up, and this is about to become very, very clustered.
Yeah. Oh, 6 doing some great shooting here. And yeah, it is going to get clustered pretty soon. Oh, well done. Yeah, it is going to get clustered pretty soon. Oh, well done. As soon as we, of course, figure out which way the zone's going to move, you know, because at this point, no one knows, you know?
Yep.
But one team that does know, however, is Odyssey, that is rolling up full force on Vibrant. Mr. 6 is in the lobby now. RIP.
Yeah, so that's just really good capitalization.
On top of each other.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Dragons really putting those hits in. Let's see how they're gonna rush up.
Yeah, some very interesting decision making here from the teams. Odyssey going to be putting those hits in towards the Exile. Of course, now Dragons also putting the hits in towards Outsiders as they move up, trying to just shoot them as they make their way up towards that zone. Oh, well, both sides, which is not the greatest spot to be in right now.
Yeah, well, that's how you know that a rotation was a good idea. If you know, the spot that you're heading to is where all the other teams are. You know, they say great minds think alike, so...
Yeah,
Yeah, good rotation. Just
Yeah.
just a tough one on the timing, and Flacco landing that finishing blow in on NG. Well done. Odyssey taking out the players there, of course, now from Exist.
One another out. So now we're going to see Odyssey getting hit by Temper, which is the east side of the map, starting to resolve itself.
Yeah, we're waiting to see if this leads to anything other than what we are seeing right now. You know, we got Gun also now trying to get a few hits in on the Odyssey team there. We've got the Dragons also trying to position themselves. We got Panda now getting several hits put into him, so much so that he gets sent to the lobby. And what I've also noticed is that Temper doesn't always necessarily place themselves in the best position at first, but they are really good at fighting into a good position. You know, they kind of bulldoze in and say like, this is my spot, I'm taking it, get out. You know?
Yeah, this is mine now.
Yeah, and I mean, it's two different strats, two different play styles. Oh,
Yeah.
down goes Temper. Well done to Gun.
Keep it up, or will Dragons win the assault? It's going to be Nerf made to fall.
Oh. It's basically riding on Dan and Nero now. Blade is down. Oh, Nero with a beautiful grin. Oh, Dan. Will Dan get it? Up comes Gun. Yes, so good so far. Let's see. We'll risk. Oh! One more.
Oh,
one more.
this is such a difficult spot to be in.